Alright, let's get started. We've got some new allegations against ABBA and Preach, of all people. ABBA and Preach allegations were not on my 2026 bingo card, but I guess we're here now. This girl came forward with a video called Part 1, My Pregnancy with ABBA, so figured we'd take a look at it. ABBA also made a response that's about like 2 hours long on a live stream, of all things, so we'll definitely take a look at that after we're done looking at this video. Also, as of the time of me recording this, I know she put out like her response, like part 2 responding to the stream. I think what we're probably gonna do is we're gonna have that reaction to part 2. This is part 1 currently, so part 2's reaction is probably going to be in a separate video, because then that would make this video super long, and like we're already doing this set video as well as a 2-hour stream segment after that, so I think it's good to make this like a 2-parter. I think it just makes sense to do it that way. I mean, I could do it in one video and do it in one go if I want, but I don't know. I like doing it this way better. Anyways, let's just not waste any more time and jump right into it.
Hi, my name is Libby, and I was a girlfriend of ABBA from ABBA and Preach. We were together for 5 months and involved with each other for about 8 months total, but 5 months of that was a serious, committed relationship.
Some people would debate that, if like 5 months really is serious. I personally think 5 months would be serious. Like, if truly anybody was being a fuckboy or a slutty girl or whatever, whoever the case is, they'd probably do like a month at most. Maybe if you're like really having good sex, maybe like 2 months. But like for the most part, usually if it wasn't serious, then yeah, I guess it would be like way less than that. So yeah, 5 months is definitely a decent amount of time. Sure.
I know when someone thinks 5 months, they think what can really happen in 5 months, but I think most would agree the first 5 months of a relationship can feel very intense and be filled with a lot of love.
It depends. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just have a different attitude to it. Maybe I just don't really take relationships as seriously as I used to. I took relationships like very seriously in my high school / early college days. Very, very young, dumb, and idiotic of me, for sure. So.
And that means you can feel the opposite of that intensity if things are not aligning or if things are not compatible. I'm going to be talking about a pregnancy in which ABBA ultimately walked away from, and I'm going to be talking about the difficulties and the emotionally harmful interactions I've had with ABBA. I want to acknowledge something up front, and that is I know exactly who I'm speaking about. I know exactly who ABBA is. ABBA is articulate. He is persuasive and he is calculated.
I don't know. A lot of... I mean, it's not really a make or break for these allegations necessarily, but there's a lot of priming here, where she's saying calculated, manipulative, this, that, and the other thing. Like, it definitely feels like there's priming. I mean, I don't know. Maybe these are true. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
ABBA is the king of receipts. And anyone who really knows ABBA would not willingly put themselves in the position I'm putting myself in right now.
I mean, I guess because he's a content creator. Why would you call him the king of receipts, though? I don't know.
Unless their experience was significant enough to speak on. I'm not here to cause spectacle. This is all informational, and I'll just leave it up for interpretation. I met ABBA July of 2025, last year, and it was really fun, and it was really interesting, and it was honestly full of love.
Why is there thumping in the background? The fuck happened? Is like, are people fucking in the other room? Is that what's happening?
4 months into the relationship,
Girl wants to keep 2 dudes for herself, but they got bored while she was filming this video, so they decided to fuck in the other room. That's what's happening here.
Start to see incompatibilities and inconsistencies that made me question the relationship and started to make me feel doubt.
Holy fuck. Oh, it's actually people doing construction in the background. I can hear the fucking saw in the background. I'm all too familiar with that noise. I've seen a lot of construction in New York City to know what that sound is.
Quickly, as I started to feel those doubts, I found out I was pregnant.
Okay.
I was very nervous, but I knew I wanted to keep the child. I told Abba about the pregnancy and...
That's a questionable decision. Wanting to keep the child if you're having doubts about a relationship, you still want to keep the child. Like, I don't know. If you're having doubts about the relationship, wouldn't the correct thing to do is, like, try to get the abortion, basically? Like, if the relationship is not going to work out and you're going to wind up being a single mother? I mean, listen, I believe that women deserve the choice to get an abortion. You know, abortion's a very uncomfortable thing. It's not comfortable to terminate a pregnancy, of course, but I do believe women, at the very least, deserve that right and the option to do it, right? Because I think it's very regressive to rob them of that right, personally. Yeah. I mean, I used to be there was a time where I was, like, very pro-life at one point in my life. I'm not proud of it. I think what really changed my opinion on it was realizing that a lot of conservatives don't particularly care about the baby once it's born and out of the mother's womb. They're pro-life only to a point. They're pro-life, but then they justify, like, Alex Preddy and Renee Good getting murdered by ICE. So clearly they're not as pro-life as they make themselves out to be.
He was actually very supportive. He was very excited. He always talked about how much he wanted children. And he said he was sure about the pregnancy, and he said that he was always very sure about me.
Okay. I mean, it sounds fine. I mean, it sounds like he's trying to, like, convince you to keep the baby to an extent. And, like, if you're, again, like, ultimately, if you think the relationship is not working out and you choose to keep the baby, I don't agree with that choice, but it is your choice to do at the end of the day. You have autonomy over yourself, so... You know, who the fuck am I to say, you know, you shouldn't keep the baby or you should keep the baby? Like, you know, it's your choice at the end of the day. Your body, your choice, right?
I, however, did not feel sure about Abba. Like I had mentioned, I started to see some core fundamental differences with our values, our lifestyle, and especially how Abba handled things emotionally and how he handled things communicatively. As time goes on, during the pregnancy, I still start to feel even more anxious and more nervous. And I think I start to confuse my anxiousness with being with Abba or moving forward with Abba with my confusion and anxiousness with the pregnancy and if I wanted to continue the pregnancy or not.
You know, I might be reading too deep into it, especially since we're still very early on in these allegations, so there might be something serious here later. But, like, I immediately picked up on very similar language that Katie Bugs used, and I'm gonna try to explain this to you. At a certain point during the George Not Found Katie Bugs allegations, Katie Bugs talks about, I confused my nerves with excitement. I don't think it's quite the same thing as what she's saying, but it's very similar. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it. You guys could say maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but I don't know.
And terminating the pregnancy was never in the question. It was something I never wanted to do.
Why? If the relationship went badly, what's the point of keeping the baby at that point?
But as time kept going in the relationship, I still felt like it was pretty rocky. And
yeah, so why bother keeping the baby at that point?
I talked to Abba and I said maybe an abortion is something we should do, even if that isn't what I wanted at all. And
okay, I mean, yeah, I feel like that would make sense to do, right?
And Abba was not happy with it. Abba was quite disappointed, and he tried to support the decision as much as he could, but you can tell that he was struggling with it a little bit.
Okay. I mean, I am a little bit skeptical of this. One, because there's not really any proof that we're seeing for any of this. So, again, everything that we're hearing from her is like a massive grain of salt. But, let's just assume she's true, right? Let's not just assume she's immediately lying. But I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't want to take everything she says at face value, but I also don't want to immediately dismiss her on the off chance that she is credible. I don't know. It sounds like he's disappointed. It sounds like he really wanted a child and he wanted to see this through. But ultimately, like, you know, I think him being disappointed can be valid. It depends how he goes about it. If he forces you to have that child, that could definitely be a form of abuse. It doesn't sound like that's what he's doing here. It just sounds like he's very disappointed that you want to terminate the pregnancy, or you're leaning towards, like, saying you don't have a choice, but you want to terminate the pregnancy.
We make our first appointment for the abortion, and Abba visits me to be there for me, and we don't go through with it that day. And when he leaves, I make another appointment, and I cancel that one. And I think in total, I canceled 3 abortion appointments. And
that's very, very interesting. The fact that you guys went back and forth on the abortion, wanting to get it and then canceling it, and then wanting to get it and then canceling it, I don't know. It seems a little bit odd.
I think, maybe I should give it more time and see if my feelings change. And so I set an appointment for after the trip I had planned to Montreal to visit Abba. I visit Abba in Montreal, and we get into our biggest fight. And this was a real turning point for me. And I know it's hard to imagine Abba upset, but he does get there.
No, I don't think it's like that hard to picture him upset. I think I've seen him crash out in a couple of videos before. I've seen him get there. I don't think I've seen him so fucking angry though. But I've definitely seen him be passionate about stuff in his YouTube videos before. I don't think it's completely far-fetched to... I mean, he's a human being that has emotions.
And not only does he get there, he goes past the point of the threshold of where anger should stop. Abba...
Okay, so it sounds like you're insinuating that he might be a little bit abusive here.
Resorts to name-calling and degrading language, and resorts to ridicule and mocking, and
What does that look like, though? Like, what does he say specifically that's, like, ridicule or mocking language? Because you're being a little bit vague. Like, what is he specifically doing? Is he, like, calling you a bitch, and he's, like, degrading you, and he's, like, saying, like, hey, you're lesser than me, or whatever? Is he using, like, I'm Alex level of fucking degrading and abuse language? Or is he just, like, is he just being passionate about, like, the fucking baby, and he's like, I wish we could have kept it, or whatever? Because, like, I need to know what that means. You're being a little bit vague.
It does teeter on the emotionally and verbal abusive side, and I hate to put a label.
I don't know if it does. Like, not the way you're describing it. It just sounds like he's really upset at the fact that you're wanting to terminate the pregnancy. Now, again, like, that there's like a fine line. Like, he could just be upset about it, but he's ultimately supporting of your choice, or he's just like fucking, he's actually like trying to like push a boundary and like say that like you're not doing, you need to have this baby or whatever, or he's like forcing you to have it or something or whatever, right? Like, I need to know what that means. I feel like she's not being specific enough
on it like that, but that is truly what it felt like. And don't take my word for it. I will be posting examples in this video or the next video.
In the next wait, this video or the next video? Like, if you're alleging all of this stuff, why not just share all of it immediately?
After that trip,
it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you have damning receipts, they should be in like your very first video or your first part or whatever the fuck.
Realized that I always wanted to keep the child, and it was the relationship that needed to be looked at. And so I cancel that last appointment, and I call Abba and I tell him, I'm so sorry for the back and forth, but it was never in my values to terminate the pregnancy. I think I'm anxious about us.
Is this woman like Christian or something? Like, because I know like abortion in a lot of religious circles is like very frowned upon. So is like this, does this woman have like any religious background? Is that why like she says it's never in my values to like get an abortion? Because that would give like a lot of context as to why she doesn't want to get an abortion. I still disagree with it. Again, it sounds like your relationship's not going too hot and you're choosing to like keep the pregnancy going, which again, I don't agree with, but it is your choice at the end of the day. You're allowed to do whatever you please.
And I think it's better if we co-parent. And I was thinking about the kind of environment I would like to raise my child in and everything like that. So Abba's really upset.
Well, I don't think you would want to raise him as a single mother, that's for damn sure.
And we hang up, and he tells me to get the abortion. And
that's a little bit... Holy shit, look at the fucking, like, screenshots. Oh my gosh, this is so much stuff on your desktop. But that's a little bit of a contradiction in your narrative. Like, she's talking about how, like, oh yeah, you should get the abortion, but then he was, like, upset that he wanted to keep the baby. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not saying that it can't be untrue, but, like, that is a bit odd that, like, suddenly I got, like, a bit of whiplash from that. Like, we went from, oh, you know, keep the child, I'm upset that you're not keeping the child, to, hey, you should get the abortion. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of whiplash there.
He tells me.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to read some of these, aren't I?
And he tells me.
Okay, so the blue is her. Hey, blank, just wanted to talk to you about the baby. You're so freaking immature just to keep blocking all the time. Wait, you're saying he's blocking you all the time? What do you mean blocking all the time? Is he, like, blocking your account, like, multiple times and then unblocking you? Or are you making, like, multiple accounts to talk to him? Hey, I unblocked you for a second. Okay, maybe it sounds like maybe it's just one account. I unblocked you for a second just to say, stop contacting me. Regardless of what you decide, I'll never keep contact with you. I blocked your cousin. Deal with your own with this on your own. Okay, so if this is in January and you guys met in July and dated for 4 months, you said the relationship went on for 4 months and a grand total of 8 months. That means they're broken up by this point, actually, by her own narrative. On January 9th, they're long broken up, and she's still trying to fucking talk to him about, like, a baby. Like, if they're broken up at that point, like, you know, that is, like, kind of your problem at that point. Like, yeah, do I have something against... Do I think it's shitty for fathers to have sex with women and then leave the pregnancy on their own? Like, they clock out the moment they find out a pregnancy happens? Yes, that is very shitty of the father to do. That's absolutely... I think that makes you less of a man. Doesn't sound like that's what Abba's doing here, based on, like, the narrative. Like, you decided you wanted to keep the pregnancy going. You decided you wanted to keep the child. He didn't want... like, your narrative is very confusing about him. It sounds like he wanted the child and then he didn't want it. Like, I don't fully know what his stance on it is, because you're kind of going back and forth on it. But, like, you guys are long broken up. At this point, it's not really his problem. Like, it kind of is something for you to deal with at this point, if you've already agreed to break up. Stop contacting me. Regardless of what you decide, I'll never keep your contact with you. I blocked your cousin. Wait, your cousin got involved? What the fuck? Deal with this on your own. You are not my responsibility. Now, don't reach out to me again. So now you're threatening me because I don't want to talk to you? Having your cousin send It's... This is strange. This is a little bit odd. 2 of these messages are edited, by the way. 2 of these messages are edited. And it sounds like there's a text message that was supposed to happen here, but you might have deleted proof because it made you look bad. That's a little bit strange. So now you're threatening me. Again, it sounds like you deleted proof. Like, there's a weird gap in between these messages. I think this woman deleted proof on her end, which, gotta be honest, if you're deleting proof on your end, that is not a good look. Having your cousins send me weird blackmail threats. If you can end the relationship, I'm within my rights to block you and not contact. So it was you that ended the relationship. That's what I'm reading from this. It sounds like she ended the relationship. She might have said that earlier and I might have missed it. But, like, it sounds like she ended the relationship with him and she's still trying to contact him. This is fishy. Now I'm starting to be very, very fishy of her narrative. There's definitely something that's not right about the way she's retelling this story. The fact that there's a gap in between this message, the fact that she's still trying to contact him after they're broken up, the fact that apparently he's blocked her multiple times, probably on multiple accounts or multiple phone numbers or something, and the fact that you're editing messages as well, too, on your end, I don't know. There's something very weird about this. What is this?
And he tells me.
Hold on. Whoa, that is so fucking much. Hold up. I'm trying to pause it at the right time. Jesus Christ, you scroll so fucking quick. Maybe I could slow the video down and see what that message says. We'll do 0.4 speed. We'll do this. Okay. Until then, I don't want to think about it. I will keep you updated. Just get the abortion. Okay, so this is him saying he wants to get the abortion. So he's saying get the abortion, basically. Because you guys are broken up. That makes sense. Because there's no point in carrying a child if you are not somebody that's dating another person. Especially, I don't think it would be pleasant to raise him as a single mother either. I will keep you updated. I will consider what you said over the phone about having the abortion. My values ultimately were not to get it. I'll think more and consider what you are telling me. Until then, best we don't talk. I understand. Hold up. Wait a minute. What's going on? I'll wait for updates on the abortion. Okay, just get the abortion. Please respect my wishes about not wanting to receive any more messages. I don't have anything to say. You're not blocked. Okay, just get the abortion. Yada, yada, yada.
I don't have
Okay, let's just get back to normal.
anything to say, just get the abortion, and I'll wait for the abortion updates. And I said, I will consider keeping you, I will keep you updated. I will consider what you said over the phone about having the abortion. My values were to ultimately not get it. And he said, just so we're clear, if you change your mind for the 10th time, I will not be involved.
Sounds to me, like, again, like, I think that kind of adds up with what she was saying earlier about, like, canceling her abortion appointment for the 3rd time, but it sounds like she was changing her mind and going back and forth on the abortion, for sure. Like, she's like, I want to have the child. I don't want to have the child. I want to have the child. I don't want to have the child. She's going, like, back and forth between each idea. Again, to me, it doesn't make sense to have the child if you guys are not together anymore. I think it would probably be an unpleasant experience to be a single mother. I'm not shading any, like, actual single mothers out there. Like, they work very hard to raise their kid and to make sure that they can do well. God bless single mothers out there, obviously, if they did make that choice, so I'm not shaming you. But it's definitely very difficult. And if she wanted to get the abortion, I think that is the smarter move here, especially considering they're not together anymore. And they haven't been together for... What, so July was the first month. Well, August would be month 1. September is month 2. October is month 3. And then November is month 4. So again, 4 months. They've been broken up for like 2 months at this point. She's still trying to contact him.
And then I kind of snap back a little bit and I'm like, then don't be. And then he blocks me.
Yeah, and then he blocks you. Understandable. You guys are not dating anymore. It makes sense. Got it. And then you message him later. Hello, wait, at 2 a.m., you're messaging him at fucking 2:50 in the morning? Hello. 4:51 in the morning, hello. 6:12 in the morning, hello. 8:15 in the morning, dude, you do realize this makes you, he just told you that he was blocking you. He just communicated this to you. Do you not understand that this makes you look fucking crazy when you're messaging him at like different points in 2-hour intervals early in the fucking morning? This makes you realize this makes you look crazy, right?
And he blocks me for an entire...
I don't know, Abba. It sounds like you stuck your dick in crazy. That's what happened here. Jesus fuck.
...entire day. And I'm so sorry for the construction in the background. I have to make sure to speak loud. Sorry about that.
You probably should have filmed this at a more opportune time then, huh?
I said, hey, I need to talk to you about the baby. I'm still...
He just told you he was blocking you. Why would you need to talk to him more? You don't need to talk to him about the baby.
And...
there's no real update. You're so freaking immature blocking me all the time.
I tell my cousin to message him to unblock me. And he says, hey, I unblocked you for a second to say stop contacting me. Regardless of what you choose, I will never decide to keep in contact with you. You're not my responsibility.
Okay, yeah, we read all this already.
I'll mention what's going on here in a minute.
Your cousin, there's like blackmail threats. Okay, I guess we'll see that later.
But I said, why?
Okay, down the road. Still arguing all this drama? Can you promise to move on, to not contact me? Why did you block me after you told me you wanted updates? Because I don't want updates. Then tell me that, lol. Sorry I wasn't clear, so I'll be clear. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Again, he's like established, I think he's made it pretty clear multiple times at this point that like you were contacting him a lot and he wanted to not have contact with you anymore. Again, he makes it pretty clear that you need to get the abortion. That's pretty clear from the get-go.
I said, why did you block me after you wanted updates? He says, because I don't want updates. Sorry I wasn't clear, so I'll be clear. I don't want to ever hear from you again.
Okay, when is this? How hard is it for you to move on? And then she, like, fucking messages. By the way, I have to just, like, keep reminding you guys, she's, like, messaging him tons of shit, like, 2 months after they've been broken up. Like, it's pretty crazy. Keep it or don't. Quitting and being honest isn't the same thing. Sure. Anyways, keep it or don't. I don't need updates. Being honest about how I'm feeling in the moment is actually the most respectable thing you could do to be a real person. You guys are not together. You guys aren't together. Why do you need to fucking tell him this? If you do this solo, good luck. If you don't, keep it. Great.
He says, keep it or don't. I don't need updates. If you do this...
Bro, all the proof that she is showing here really is communicating that, like, she's kind of fucking insane. Like, this proof does not make you look good.
Solo, good luck. If you don't keep it, great. And then he blocks me again. And
understandable. Like, at this point, I don't know why he keeps, like, if this is the same phone number, I don't know why he keeps unblocking you. The only explanation I can think of is maybe she's, like, on multiple different fucking phone numbers trying to contact him. Not gonna lie, this woman seems a little bit crazy. I wouldn't fucking doubt that she probably gets, like, multiple phone numbers to try to contact him. It's pretty crazy. Also, by the way, apparently there's, like, different text messages. Notice how the color hue in some of the, like, I don't know if you guys could see it from on my screen, but, like, I'm seeing all those fucking screenshots on her desktop, by the way. All these proof is on her desktop, I have to remind you, where some of the text messages from her are in purple, and then, like, in some of the proof, some of the text messages from her are in blue, which communicates to me that she's using 2 separate phones or 2 separate things. Yeah, probably 2 separate phones or 2 separate devices to try to contact ABBA, which kind of leads me to believe that you were, in fact, using different phone numbers to try to fucking contact him. That's pretty unhinged. I can't lie. That's crazy. Holy shit, dude. ABBA, you might have stuck your dick in crazy, is what I'm reading from this.
I am so exhausted at this point on how ABBA handles conflict and how he resorts to shutting down and avoidance and stonewalling. And
dude, why do we have to use such loaded terms? Stonewalling, avoidance. Like, we're using a lot of, like, fucking, like, TikTok buzzwords here.
Especially at a time that is very critical and sensitive.
You guys are not together anymore. The baby is your problem, and you didn't choose to get an abortion earlier. You needed to get the abortion earlier. Like, it's understandable that it's, like, I get that it's a confusing time. I get that, like, you still need to decide whether you want to get the abortion or not get the abortion. Like, I get it. Like, having a baby is, like, no one ever really is ready to have a baby, truthfully. No, like, it's, like, always unexpected whenever somebody says that they're pregnant. You know, like, you're never going to be 100% ready to have the baby. You can obviously prepare in advance to, like, at any point for when you can hear it, but you can never fully be 100% ready to be a dad. It's always news that you do have to process. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sounds to me like you were going back and forth on the abortion a lot. You kind of waited a little bit to get the abortion. It sounds like maybe you went through with the abortion, probably, because I don't see that she's pregnant. I guess the camera angle wouldn't be able to show it, whatever. But, like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's not his problem anymore. Like, you guys are not together. Like, it's understandable that he doesn't want to receive updates on it.
I just want to show you this. So this kind of will show you an example of ABBA's volatility a little bit. I think...
Volatility. You're not blocked. See that you've blocked me. You may not even be getting it. Why is the text messages so different here, by the way? Can I just say, like, the formatting is just different. I'm grieving painfully tonight, and I will be for a long time. I can't... ... I blocked the new number you're using. I blocked your email. So you're trying to find multiple ways to contact him. Is that what I'm reading from this? Babe, you still have me blocked. You still have my IG. Back in November 12th, 2025, she is still trying to fucking text ABBA in January, 2 months later. This woman is fucking insane. Like, all the proof that you are showing us shows that you are fucking insane.
4 months of our relationship, I think I was blocked like 100 times. And I typed in the word block in my search history for my messages. And the first time he blocked me was in August. So in the beginning of August, and I think we met
In July.
in the middle of July.
Oh, okay. So if you guys were dating for 4 months, then that would mean that he's I guess the relationship would have been still somewhat toxic at this point. So it's like on and off. Sounds like you guys were a little bit toxic, probably. Wouldn't doubt it.
And this was just 3 weeks after we met. And so then he blocks me again at the end of August, and then a few times in September, and then October and November and December. And anytime that you see the word blocked on my end, I'm just telling him like, hey, can you unblock me? You still have me blocked from Instagram or something. And that doesn't stop there. I now type in the word blocking, which is...
Okay. Cousin, do you feel like blocking in a relationship is grounds for a breakup? When you are explicitly told them it would be non-negotiable, blocking is crazy. Okay. So I think you're still somewhat dating, but it sounds like you guys are a little bit toxic at this point. Also, I'm still not over you blocking me, by the way.
It's different from blocked, but I still have a bunch of where he's like, I'm blocking you here. And I put blocking here because I didn't block him here. I was telling him like, hey, you keep blocking. And yeah, so now I'm blocked and I'm upset. I am 9 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling emotional. I'm hormonal, all these changes. And I don't want to blame.
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, pregnancy, like, I guess if you want, like, just being very, very, this is like very charitable to her. If you want to be charitable to her, like the best case interpretation would be that, like, you know, being pregnant makes you very hormonal. It makes you very prone to dealing with all types of different emotions. That, like, I guess sort of, like, you know, could explain some of the more, I guess, like, erratic behavior, partly. But, like, again, you are not dating him. So, like, the baby still is not really his responsibility, like, as I keep saying.
On that specifically because I knew that I was also exhausted from the dynamic of Abba and I. And so this is a blemish on my part in all of this. But I pretend to send a screenshot of Abba's message saying that he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I pretend to send it to Myron.
Bro, I'm sorry. Are we hearing this correctly? Hey, I'm sending a screenshot of Abba saying he doesn't want this anymore to his worst fucking enemy, his arch nemesis. Yeah, I can understand why Abba would want to block you. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty insane that you would do something like that.
Myron Gaines. And I never do it, and I never did do it.
Jeez, no wonder he wants to fucking block you. Jesus Christ, you're like actually kind of like a thorn on his side.
But that was just to like, I was fighting back a little bit. But again, I never did it. And...
Wait, hold on. I need to listen to that again. You never did it?
I pretend to send it to Myron.
Oh, you pretend to send it to him. Okay. So you didn't actually send it. You pretend. Okay, got it.
Games. And
that's still fucking crazy though, because like to some extent, if you're pretending to send it to him, like we might dabble in a little bit of topics of blackmail in these allegations. That's what it's sounding like to me.
I never do it, and I never did do it, but that was just to like, I was fighting back a little bit. But again, I never did it. And I also messaged the Ab and Preach page. And I tell him this. I'm not going to read it, but I'll leave it up here so you guys can view and pause if you'd like. And...
Oh, great. So that means, like, Preach could potentially have access to these messages, which means that Preach is now getting involved in this situation. He doesn't want to fucking hear it. So now you're basically, like, this is harassment now at this point. I think we've established that this is harassment. You've contacted them on seemingly multiple different phone numbers, and now you're reaching out to them on Instagram when you've already been blocked elsewhere. That's crazy. That's insane. I'm pregnant, and despite you being in a relationship or not, you said you don't care if I keep the baby or not, and that you won't be a part of it. Again, it's not his responsibility. You've gone back and forth at this point about it. It's your responsibility to choose whether or not you want the abortion. It sounds like you wanted to clock out of this relationship, but then you keep messaging them about it. You're being weird at this point. You told me you'd never walk out on the child if I got pregnant. Well, again, you broke up with him. I'm pretty sure. Like, that was what happened. Like, you guys broke up and you're not together anymore, so it's not his problem. I will keep the baby and raise them myself. Well, are you sure about that? But because I expressed I felt anxious 5 months into a relationship and I told you my truth because I do care about your life, me loving you and me also feeling unsettled can both exist. You say this isn't horrible behavior towards me. You're saying this behavior is better than blackmail. I didn't even said I was going to do. I never said I was going to do those things, and you tell me you would stop your friends from doing that because you're not me, but you would leave me alone to parent your child alone, saying that's not horrible. If I wanted my friends to express your horrible text messages to me, you wouldn't think I already would have done that. My friend even said in the message you sent me, Libby would never do it. I felt the need to end the relationship because we fighting all the time and it wasn't okay. Okay, yeah, that's valid that you wanted to end the relationship. What you're doing right now, by fucking harassing, because that's what this is. You are harassing them at this point because you keep fucking trying to message them after you've been blocked multiple times. You're harassing them, right? This is not okay. This is not normal behavior. I ended it respectfully, and you knew that. So why do you keep fucking talking to him? Why do you keep trying to message him? You then told me you don't care if I keep the baby or not. You're not going to be a part of it, and then you block me. And then I try to reach you because there wasn't a decision on a baby. And then I show my friends your horrible messages and they stick up for me. Even you know what you sent me was evil. How is it evil? What did they send you that was evil? That's why you're afraid of getting it leaked, which I said I wouldn't do. But even that's telling me, hey, blackmailer, stop reaching out. Bro, because now, like, fucking Preach is seeing these messages, potentially, because Abba and Preach are messaging on, like, this guy. This is fucking crazy. Like, basically what this woman is showing us is that she's fucking crazy.
He just responds, hey, blackmailer, stop reaching out. And
well, if you're threatening to leak this to Myron Gaines, who, again, is, like, Abba's sworn arch nemesis, that would be, like, some form of blackmail. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And Abba gets very upset because now Preach sees these messages and now Preach knows.
Dude, that's crazy, because you're involving Preach in this now by messaging the Abba and Preach account.
That his girlfriend is pregnant. Now Preach knows Abba's girlfriend is pregnant. And Abba calls me at some point, and this is just another example of how...
Okay, I mean, I'm not with patient. I am trying to get something to eat real quick because I did not eat. I don't care. Bye. Blocked. I'm trying to eat. Hey, I was really trying to get something to eat. I haven't eaten. Parasite, I don't care. Eat shit, sleep. I want my peace back. I want you guys. So hurry up. You've made 9 accounts harassing me and blackmailing me. Dude, Abba, who did you get involved with? God forbid that this woman actually had the child. I assume she probably got the abortion, inevitably, because there's no way she would have been able to raise this fucking child on her own. Absolutely not. Who did you fucking stick your... This is a lesson in be careful who you fucking stick your dick in. Genuinely. Because, like, it sounds like Abba got involved in a little bit of crazy.
Abba does talk to me when he does get upset, so I don't answer because I'm trying to get something to eat. I'm hungry and I'm, like, sick. I'm in my first trimester, and I don't answer. And he says, I don't care. Bye, blocked. I'm trying to eat. Hey, I was really trying to get something to eat. I haven't eaten. He says, parasite, I don't care. Eat, shit, sleep. I want my peace back. I want you gone. So hurry up. You made 9 accounts harassing me and blackmailing. So he's talking about my cousin reaching out and sending him messages, and he calls again, and we finally get on a phone call. This is the most brutal phone call, and it does reflect everything that I had mentioned before.
So, brutal phone call. Based on everything that she has been describing in this situation, I'm not seeing any form of abuse or calculated behavior from Abba here. Like, she tried to, like, load this heavily. I'm leaning on the side of, why the fuck are you going public with this? Why are you talking about it? Like, listen, I get, like, again, being charitable for a moment, it does suck that you're dealing with a pregnancy, and it does suck that you have to get an abortion, or that you most likely should. It seems like that's the most logical thing to do, considering that you're not gonna have a father to raise that child. So, I sympathize, I get it, but simultaneously, I don't care. Why go public with this? Like, why, like, deal with this offline? Why did you feel the need to make a YouTube video going public with these allegations, I say, in quotes, like, against ABBA? That's the part that I'm not understanding.
That it was verbal and emotionally abusive, and
I don't think so.
Contained
not the way you're describing it. I'm not seeing any forms of abuse.
A lot of dehumanizing language, and
oh my god, dude, dehumanizing language, please. You fucking harassed him on like 9 different accounts, alright? Like, dehumanizing language, I doubt it. Fuck, enough. Stop, I don't believe you.
Degrading language, and I actually have the phone call right here, but I cannot play it because ABBA can file legal action against me. And in this phone call, he also said,
how can he file legal action against you?
Because I will never meet the baby. I will never look at the baby in the face. I will never know its name. And if I do, I will make sure to tell them that their mother was disgusting and horrible. And he says that he will make sure he's never a part of the baby's life. And
because he, at this point, is not in your life anymore. You guys are broken up. I don't know if I fully trust your retelling of it because you've misused words heavily here. But I mean, like, again, like, it sounds like he's really fed up with the fact that you keep fucking harassing him again and again and again on, like, multiple different accounts.
I know you can't picture ABBA saying this, but he does say it. And after that, I never hear from ABBA again. 3 days go by, and I am desperate to talk to him. And I contact Preach through Instagram, and Preach doesn't want anything to do with it, which is understandable. And I just kind of leave it alone after that. Week 1 goes by, and I don't hear anything from ABBA. Week 2 goes by. I don't hear anything from ABBA.
Yeah, because you guys are broken up. It makes sense. He doesn't want to fucking talk to you. Yeah.
And then now we're at week 3. And I know 3 weeks doesn't seem like a long time, but
it doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't want to fucking speak to you. He's made that clear to you numerous times.
When you're trying to figure out a situation as critical as this one, and you're so desperate to talk to the father of the baby.
When you guys aren't dating, by the way.
3 weeks felt like a very long time.
Yeah, it's not his responsibility anymore. You went back and forth on the abortion. At this point, you need to get the abortion. Like at this point, like, the relationship is clearly not working out. You need to be decisive with your decision making. Like, you're being, like, very hot and cold with ABBA at this point. It makes sense why he wanted to clock out, because you were being very hot and cold about it.
And week 4 comes up, and I
again, like, I charitable for a minute. Like, I get that, like, pregnancy makes you have, like, all these hormones, so, like, I guess some of it can be excused, but again, you keep harassing him. Like, at a certain point, you still have to be responsible for some of your own actions, right?
I now have to make a decision. And I have to make a decision based off what the reality is.
The reality is that you guys are not dating, which means you probably should not keep the baby.
The reality is that ABBA completely left me for dead.
Okay. You broke up with him first. That doesn't make... what, he left you for dead? He doesn't have to say anything to you if you decided to end the relationship. That was your choice.
And ABBA...
I feel like, if anything, you left him for dead.
Walked out on the pregnancy, and...
You broke up with him. What are you talking about? He doesn't need to be there for you. You guys are not dating.
he is now absent from this entire thing. And he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, and he doesn't want anything to do with me, and I make the
What?
hardest decision I ever had to make, and it was a very painful decision, but I end up having the abortion.
Thank God. Holy fuck. Sorry. Like, I like, listen, I don't celebrate getting abortions. Like, it's not, like, it's never an easy choice to make an abortion. And, like, I know a lot of mothers feel a lot of guilt from having abortions. I knew someone personal in my life who not that long ago got an abortion, and she felt guilt of it afterwards, and she got therapy afterwards. God bless. You know, like, it's never easy for the mother to do that, so I don't doubt that it was a hard decision for her to make. I don't, like, doubt that. But, like, you needed to be decisive about that fucking, like, way sooner. Because, like, Jesus fucking Christ, you decided to end the relationship and you kept pretending that, like, he needed to be responsible for it when you didn't want to be part of his life anymore. And, like, he clocked out at that point.
And I grieved very hard.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, sure.
And I was also grieving the relationship with Abba.
Again, why is this public? This is terrible. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you like, your feelings are probably valid to some extent, but get a therapist. You know, talk to somebody offline. You know, you don't need to make an internet allegation about it to try to fuck up his career, because going public about this is very strange, in my opinion.
I knew that I found all of these incompatibilities, but I did still love him a lot.
Well, you decided to end a relationship with him, so it's kind of on you, boss girl.
And I was feeling very lost and truly some of my darkest days. And I think Abba will never get a hold of me again, and he's
made that no shit. He's made that clear to you, like, in all of the proof that he's shown.
Doesn't care to reach out, but he does. So a week after the abortion, I hear from him on Instagram. And this is what he says. He says, "For me to plan things, I need clarity on a few things, whether you intend to continue the pregnancy and what level of involvement you foresee for me. I should be clear that I still have no plans to co-parent. I'm not messaging to discuss the relationship or here to argue, just the above." And he is messaging me a lot, and
I guess we should read this. Preach just sent me right now what you sent him from our chat. Oh, okay, so this is alright, this is just like DMs, I suppose, from him and Preach, or just like previous DMs that we've already seen, I think.
And he is...
I tried calling a few times. I want a resolution where we fully part ways as soon as possible, but if you're intent on not giving this and continuing to contact people around me... Oh, yeah, so now... Bro, she's contacting people close in his life. She's involving Preach in this when Preach has no involvement in this whatsoever, and Preach probably just wants to fucking enjoy, like, a cocktail in, like, Ethiopia or whatever, wherever the fuck he's going on vacation to. Because I know he's been to Ethiopia a couple times. They did bring that up in some of their videos. But now you're, like, contacting all these people that Abba know. This is weird. You're being weird.
Messaging me.
Why are you... Hold on.
The relationship or here to argue, just the above. And he is messaging.
Okay. Why are you messaging people saying you're my partner? Hi, Preach, I'm Abba's girlfriend. You guys are broken up! You guys are broken up and you're still fucking saying that you're Bro, what?
Messaging me a lot.
Dude, Abba, you gotta be... Abba, you almost had a baby with this girl. You almost had a baby with this fucking girl. What the fuck, man? I wish I had more commentary to give, but holy fuck, dude. I'm, like, almost appalled that Abba almost became the fucking daddy for this girl's kid. This is insane. Days after your behavior, hasn't ceased. I guess that cut off. So what do you want from me? I have no idea how to put an end to this. I understand why you're going to such great lengths to undermine me and tell folks bad things and then want to co-parent. I wish I was capable of the same blackmail tactics, contacting your job, hitting up people close to you, and other nonsense. I'm not. I can't even, and I don't want you to, so do you want money? Do you need an apology?
What?
What do you want to get? What do you want to get your win?
And it's because
but since you keep reading unwilling to give a simple answer, I'll assume this is also part of your ploy. Just know all of this makes me more certain of why I will ever be involved with anything related to you. Hopefully not everything about you was a lie and that you're human enough to end this fucking nonsense. Dude, Abba, I feel like even that... Dude, I would be calling this woman slurs at this point. Bro, I'd be fucking going off. I'd be going nuts. Like, even, I feel like, Abba, you're still being, like, somehow too nice to her. I guess maybe in Abba's defense, maybe he's fucking terrified of her because she's goddamn crazy. I wouldn't doubt it.
Responding to him. And one thing I realized about Abba is Abba thinks a certain way. Abba also...
Sure, yeah. All humans think in a certain way. Yeah. Thanks. Amazing commentary.
Likes things done a certain way.
Uh-huh.
And if things are not followed through in the way that he wants, you will see a reaction from him.
He blocked you. He doesn't want anything to do with you. You're fucking messaging him and people close in his life. He is being forced to contact you at this point because you keep fucking interfering with his life. This is harassment. This is like actual harassment. And you're also blackmailing him by trying to message fucking Myron Gaines, which I have no doubt Myron Gaines probably made like tons of videos farming this for content. I wouldn't doubt it.
And, you know, this is one of those times, like, I'm not responding, and he is insulting me, saying I'm doing all these things, and I'm not, you know, doing those things, and I'm like, I'm not going to engage with this type of communication, but he does lash out. And I thought about the pregnancy, and I thought, Abba never cared about the child.
Well, clearly not. Wait, I'm sorry. Didn't you say at the very beginning of this video that Abba was, like, being adamant on keeping the child at the very beginning of this video? That would be, like, against your narrative on him saying he never cared about the child.
He only cared about, you know, this dream that he had.
Nothing you've shown us suggests that.
But that's not...
So far, Abba has a lot more credibility than you do in this.
Really how it works. We both have this responsibility. And I didn't do it the way he pictured it.
I don't care.
And I can understand that also, but, you know, this is so far removed from what he would support on his channel.
I don't care.
And promote on his channel.
I don't care.
And so...
I'm sorry, I'm process calling Kaiser, so what do you want? If you want to ruin my life contacting my people, prepare for the same. I kept records of your blackmail, so enjoy that.
I said I left you alone since I reached out to Preach a month ago, and he's saying, like, no, you're, like, still calling me, and
you probably are still fucking calling him. I wouldn't fucking doubt it. You keep contacting him after you've been blocked on multiple different occasions, accounts, and phone numbers. I would not fucking doubt it.
Preach him. I said, no, I never called you. I said, I've left you alone since, like, my last contact with Preach. I said, you didn't want anything to do with the baby. I said, okay. I said, I'm not going to engage in this kind of communication, Abba, because he keeps messaging me. And he sends this little okay liar thing. Remember, I said that Abba can act in a way of, like, mocking and ridicule and a little, sometimes immature, but...
Yeah, sure. I've seen it in his videos. I know exactly what she's talking about. I've seen him act that way in his videos, but, like, that's not abuse, like you're trying to insinuate. That's not, like, some form of, like, him being, like, manipulative or calculated or whatever. Like, whatever fucking buzzword you're trying to attach to him.
Yeah, I said, and that's what you wanted. You didn't want anything to do with the baby. And to this day, Abba feels extremely justified with leaving the pregnancy.
Well, you broke up with him, so I would say it's a pretty justified reason.
This is one of our last messages. This was about a month ago, and there was a little tension in this conversation, and we were going back and forth a bit, and I said, you still haven't apologized for abandoning me and our baby. I only apologize. And he said, it's because it's your fault. You cut me out of the relationship and the fatherhood.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
I'm saying, I have to go now, okay? And he said, I have always believed that it was your fault.
Yeah, because you stopped the relationship. You got yourself in that situation.
I said it was a responsibility that was both of ours. And I said I needed more security from you.
When you said you need more security from him when you chose to broke up with him. Makes no fucking sense to me. How do you expect that from somebody that you're choosing to end a relationship with? Doesn't make any sense. You guys are not dating.
And he said that you didn't want the baby, and he's talking about when I was going back and forth from before the Montreal trip. And when I realized, this relationship is probably not sustainable. And this is something I am still healing from, and something I think about often, and I'm still grieving. And I do feel like it was wrong, and I did feel like it was wrong at the time, but after some time passes, I really think that this wasn't the way it should have gone. And
well, that's your fault. You chose to break up with him, so I don't really... Again, like, we didn't need to hear about this. Like, fucking... Like, again, why even, like, go public with this? Like, do you feel like you got something off your chest? Do you feel satisfied or vindicated that you got this off your chest? Because it sounds to me like literally just looking at the fucking comments section and like the dislike counter, or I mean, whatever you return YouTube dislike says. I know that's not 100% accurate, but like looking at the general public's response to this, it sounds to me like, if anything, you just got more people on your ass. And I don't really think that this was as vindicating as you had hoped it would be.
I'll be posting more examples of my interaction with Abba and the dynamic and this repetitive cycle I experienced with him. So, yeah, thanks for watching.
Wow. That was fucking insane. And that took us way longer to get through than I thought it would. Alright, we'll see what Abba has to say about this. Alright guys, just to be clear, I skipped to like 2 minutes 4 seconds ahead just because like the starting soon screen is just Abba dancing and playing music. He's being very nonchalant about this, it seems. It doesn't seem like he's taking this seriously. And to be fair, I don't think he should, because a lot of what's being alleged here is pretty, like, it should have been private. Like, I don't see any information that's so damning that Abba needs his career damaged over it. But, yeah, I mean, he decided to dedicate a 2-hour response to this, so yeah, we're gonna watch it. I have it on 1.25 times speed, though, just because it is pretty long.
Seconds. Whew. You know what I mean? You guys don't know, I actually made that song after we ended our relationship because it felt so good to be free. Y'all ever been that? Y'all ever
Yeah, I can kind of relate to that.
been in a relationship where you start like forgetting yourself a little bit? You know what I mean? Who you really
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that feeling all too well. Oh, yeah.
be, what you like, what you love. That's what this individual stole from me. So that's why I made that song right there. Still working through it. All right, we're gonna have a 5-minute version eventually. Gotta work through it. But let's get to it. A lot of folks been like, but you hiding? You terrified? So, I'm gonna explain a little bit because some of y'all are like, what the fuck is going on, Abba? And Preach's not here right now. I actually asked if he could. He said he wouldn't be available till 9:30. I gotta go salsa dancing around 9:30, so he might get here just for the end. That's the reason why he's not there. Now, some of you might read into it, Preach running away.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, like, again, if you've been watching Abba and Preach for a hot minute, you would kind of get the idea that they're not, like, they don't strike me as, like, super terminally online. Like, they do other shit in real life, and they're, like, a lot of them are very old school. Preach especially, because, like, what? They have, like, an 8-year age gap. Preach is, like, in his 40s. I believe Abba's, like, close to Papa Gut's age. He's, like, 36 years old. Preach is, like, in his early 40s, and he's, like, especially very old school. And so they're not going to be sitting here, like, too wrapped up in this shit. She's a lot more wrapped up than they are, clearly. Whoa, excuse me. I'm drinking seltzer.
We're streaming tomorrow, so we'll see you guys then. But I figured I would just get here right now to talk about it, because it's worthwhile. Now, some of you who've been following us all year know that around the end of last year, going into this year, I was pretty stressed out. I was dealing with a lot. Shit, your boy was showing up with some soju. Not because I wanted to be an alcoholic, I was just drinking one, but
Okay.
it was still a pretty stressful period. And the reason why it was stressful wasn't because I pulled a Fresh or a Walter. The reason why it was stressful is because I was involved in a relationship where the other individual...
Casually just taking a sip of the soju.
How would I put this? You know, guys, today you guys are going to see me be a bit vulnerable and be real about aspects of my life that I never want to share with the public, mostly because I don't know, involves people I know in real life, and that's always a weird thing. But unfortunately,
I also feel like part of it is and like some people might disagree, but I've always gotten vibes from ABBA that he has like a lot of toxic masculinity traits. Like I'm not in like the same way that someone like Andrew Tate has them, where you're like you hate all women or you blame all women for your problems. But like ABBA tends to like deal with his emotions offline, and he like kind of is like the typical way to deal with it as a man is just like build up, deal with it offline, do all that shit basically. So I can understand like from ABBA's perspective, because I kind of relate to that. I tend to, if I can help it, I want to deal with my emotions offline as much as possible. I try not to share shit on the internet too much, because unless I'm forced to, of course, you know, like if people share that information online, then I don't really have a choice other than to be vulnerable, I guess, in that moment. But aside from that, I try not to talk too much about it. I think that's part of why ABBA doesn't really share too much about himself.
fortunately, she forced my hand, and so I figured I'd come up here, guys, and be real honest. I don't hate her. This is somebody I love very, very much, and I loved. And, we went through something that was very, very difficult. And it's hard for me to hate this person, because for me, if I love somebody, it doesn't just go away. And so even making this for me right now feels weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can relate to that, for sure. Like, sometimes even after you're broken up, even if you have each other blocked, you'll still, like, have fleeting thoughts of, like, the good times you had with that person. You know what I mean? I put that in quotes, but, like, everybody breaks up for a reason, right? If you broke up the first time, chances are there's a reason why the relationship didn't work out to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that relationships can't work out with, like, one breakup and then you get back together and then you are stronger after that. I'm not saying there haven't been relationships that haven't gone that way. But, like, typically, again, the way I see it is that if you have to break up once or even twice for that matter, there's a reason it happened. Like, as cliche as it sounds, I would say not everything, but most things happen for a reason.
Oh, but you were just dancing 5 minutes ago. Yes, because the relationship itself fucking took so much out of me. I can sit here in front of you guys today and feel very comfortable because I gave everything to a relationship. Every ounce of me. More patience than I even fucking knew I had. And wore myself out doing everything in my body to make things work.
Yeah, and that's... A part of me is like, you shouldn't do that, but like also when you're in a relationship, or if you're about to get married to someone, that person ideally should be your best friend. But if a relationship is making you lose who you are, and like your life is being consumed by a relationship, that's not really a relationship at that point. That's just like torture for both you and the other person. So it's not really... Like, a relationship should complement your life. You still need to be your own person, but that should be like an addition to your life. That's just nice to have and amazing to have, right? It shouldn't be something that's poison to your life. It's a lesson that I wish I taught myself while I was way, way younger, let me tell you.
And it just didn't work out. And, breakups are always tough because you leave thinking like, what if, and this and that. But when you...
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different, thoughts that go into like a breakup. It's the same thing as losing your job. Like, if you lose your job, that is, I would argue, just as much pain as going through a breakup if you lose your job unwillingly. It sucks. Like, I recently, not that long ago, went through losing a job. It sucks. It's not fun, and, like, it really is, like, stages of grief in a breakup because you thought that job was something that would be attached to you. You have to go through it the same way you would go through a breakup, right? You have to just go through the stages of grief, understand that there's still going to be fleeting thoughts of sadness, but as time goes on, it gets better and better, and you learn to move past it, and you learn to rebuild your life without it. It's part of the process.
Give everything when like you tried and you tried and you tried and it just didn't work out. It's a lot easier for me to walk away and to look back on it and speak about it because there's nothing really much else for me to do. So now she comes out with this video. Didn't know what was happening, so it was a little blindside. I woke up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and you guys are getting this all raw, live, unfiltered, the same way she got it raw, and that's why we're here, okay?
Okay. That was funny.
So why don't I just plug in the video a little bit so y'all can see who we're talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Her getting it raw was probably a big mistake because that's a huge point of contention in this controversy, as you know, with the pregnancy.
This is my ex, Libertine Kalina. All right, she's a Filipina, my first.
Whoa, did ABBA go east? Did he take Legal Mindset's advice and went east?
my last. I like you Filipinos. You guys are awesome. You know what I mean? Her family seems really cool. So I'm always
Jesus Christ, ABBA really did go east. Holy fuck, dude.
say positive things about the people them. But let's take a look.
My name is Libby.
God damn, what a dramatic ass intro. But that's who she is, okay? Now I'm not gonna spend an hour going over this whole video because I don't think it's really worthwhile. I think the main concern is ABBA, you know what I mean? She got some baby mama drama. Is that what people want to know? The allegation essentially is that ABBA's like fresh. She got a girl pregnant and he just manipulated or bullied her or whatever. Or he abandoned.
You know, part of me wishes he wasn't, like, as silly when responding to this, because, like, I'm going to use Tectone as, I know, like, two separate situations. Tectone is, like, actually a shit person in comparison to ABBA. Like, and there's, like, legitimate abuse, and, of course, he's a rapist. But, with Tectone, right, the way he was responding to the allegations, it was, like, a 3-hour stream, and he was being so unserious, and the allegations were a lot more severe in comparison to ABBA's allegations. Like, he was being accused of, like, sexual assault, abuse, can't own a gun for 10 years, has a protective order on him. There's not much he could say that would respond to the situation, but the way Tectone responded was just being silly and not taking it seriously. That was not the good way to respond to it. If anything, that made him seem more guilty. So the point that I'm trying to make, right, is ABBA not being serious. Some people could interpret that as, oh, ABBA could be guilty of the allegations because he's being unserious, and a lot of people that have been unserious about allegations have turned out to be guilty in the past. So that's something that some people could say. I just think that ABBA could probably care about his optics just a little bit better. I respect him for being raw and being himself, of course, but just it is something to keep in mind.
And that can be further from the truth. Could be further from the truth. So we'll get into all of those details, okay? Someone said, oh, ABBA, you're sweating right now. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't live my private life in a way that I would be afraid if it came to light. I know someone might think that, but I'm not looking back on all my decisions in this dynamic and going, oh my God, if someone, I don't give a fuck. You know, I just don't want to talk because it's annoying. You know what I mean? Having people in my personal life, talking about, it's like, it's annoying. But beyond that, like, I'm not stressing, to be honest with you. So,
God, being a content creator and dating must be so fucking hard, man. Because, like, it's just, like, you gotta worry about, like, crazy people like this and then, like, them trying to ruin your brand, like, if the relationship doesn't go well. Being a content creator trying to date fucking sucks.
For all the people being like, oh my God, like, not really bothered. So, me and her dated for some time, and we talked at length about what we would do if she got pregnant. And both of us landed on we would keep the child. And the reason why we would want to keep a child is because for her, she presented herself as a Christian, someone of faith. For me,
yeah, I figured as much. She said it was against her values. She didn't really talk about her Christianity in depth, or maybe she did and I just didn't hear it or I missed it. But, like, I figured it was probably for some religious reasons.
I'm pro-choice. You guys know that. But at the same time, I told myself, like, you know, if it's my child and it feels right and we're in a union, then I'm more than willing, even if it's unexpected, to assume my responsibilities and do what I got to do. The three things that she presented to me that surprised me in all this was that, one, she said she would never quit. She's not a quitter, you know what I mean? So that to me was reassuring because I want to work through problems, want to work through issues, fights, everything. And, you know, I value that in a partner. Second thing she told me was that, yeah, you know, she wouldn't get an abortion. For her, keeping children really important. So I'm like, cool, you know, it's not my faith or anything like that, but.
Which, by the way, is fine if she wants to keep the child. She has the right to do that. I don't think it's a good idea given that the relationship is not going well and considering she ended the relationship. But if she wants to do that, that's her choice, right? And besides which, it seems like ABBA's okay with either or. Like, he obviously, like, it sounded like he wanted to keep the child because he wanted to raise a child. And also, maybe, like, because again, ABBA's like, what, 35, 36? So maybe he's just at a point in life where he's just like, fuck it, you know? I've never had an opportunity to settle. Maybe, like, this is finally the girl that I can actually just, like, settle with, you know, and actually have, like, a baby with, you know? I'm getting, like, old at this point. Maybe I should have a baby. Like, maybe that's, like, what was going through his head. Obviously, he's not going to have it now because she got the abortion and they're not together anymore. But, you know, maybe at the time that's what ABBA was going through in his head.
I get that and I respect that. And the third thing is that she's not a cheater. And she doesn't believe in courting the attention of other men, okay? And this third one turns out is the reason why we're here today, okay? She presented herself as somebody who, you know, if I'm seeing somebody or whatever, I wouldn't even let another man come up to me and talk to me. She, you know, I think it's disrespectful. She presented herself like as one with such strong boundaries and not, you know, entertaining other men. It almost was a lot. You know, for me, like, if I'm seeing somebody, if they're exclusive with me, that's all I don't need you to know you said goodbye to someone because they said hi to you at the gym or you ran away. But she felt the need to explain to me it's a big deal to her. So I said, fantastic. Now, let's get to the first thing. We had these conversations about keeping children or not, and I should give you guys a little bit of background. Now you're gonna get medical information, okay? Up until about 2.5 years ago, so 2.5 years ago, I went to the doctor, and essentially, I won't get to the long gist of the conversation because it's none of your fucking business, but the doctor kind of told me like, hey, listen, your sperm count's mad low, I don't think you have kids. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, hopefully we don't hear something similar to Tectone where you take a bunch of fucking steroids or you take a bunch of, like, fucking sperm enhancers to, like, try to up your sperm count.
In my head, I'm like, shit, I can get a vasectomy. That's, like, kind of good news, but I wanted kids. Maybe I didn't know, but part of me was like, maybe I won't. So I meet this girl. We hit it off. You know, relationship's going great. You know what's crazy? You guys have never, ever seen any person I've been in a relationship or dated. And, yeah. So this is my ex, okay? Libertine Kalina, all right? And this is the profile that I saw about her, okay? So here she is, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
I mean, yeah, she's definitely not, like, an unattractive woman. Like, I could see why Abo looked at that and went, damn, she's kind of cute. I like her.
You know what I mean?
Like, again, but, like, also, you have to remember, like, there's definitely a lot of red flags that you gotta catch early on. Like, this woman was, like, messaging him on so many different fucking platforms. Like, this woman was obviously crazy, based on all the evidence that she showed us.
She likes archery. She's a family person. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. So this is what I know about her, okay? She cute. I might have some beef with her now, but I'm never going to say she was ugly.
I can see why you fell for her in the beginning. I could definitely see it. You know, everything seemed normal, but then you pick up on, like, red flags in the relationship. And normally, like, I don't really care if somebody has some red flag. Like, listen, and what I mean by that is, like, if it's an offline relationship, they have some red flags and the relationship ends, then that's where the story ends. The reason why I'm commenting on this now is because she decided to go fucking public with this, and I feel like, fuck around and find out. Like, you wanted to make this public. It's kind of tough for me to feel bad for you on, like, if other people start giving their opinions on the way you acted badly in this relationship.
She wasn't a Chinese escort, for everyone to ask.
Okay, bro. Jesus, fuck. Bro, come on. God damn it. Come on, dude. You're a little bit too tipsy for this, Abba. Maybe stop the stream a little bit and respond when you're not tipsy.
Anyways, I thought I was shooting blanks, you know, and we was
Oh yeah, because your sperm count's low.
We was getting it on, and it turns out I wasn't shooting blanks. Big surprise to the both of us. You guys, I don't know why, man. Everyone was messaging me like, Abba, you stressed? I'm like, I'm really not. Okay. So she gets pregnant, and we had a conversation about it. And initially, she's like, okay, we'll do this. And this is the only time that she ever told me she wanted to have a kid. And when she told me that, I said, okay. You know, like, I wasn't expecting this, but if this is where it's turning, then I'm going to assume my responsibilities. But yeah, let's do this. So this happens, might have been November, October, I don't know. But at this point, my life changes a little bit at that point because I'm in my head now focused on dealing with what's in front of me. I have a huge responsibility, so I'm shifting all things in my life to assume that responsibility. You know, I'm shifting my investments, I'm shifting my work stuff, and I have a hard time explaining this to you guys. I've never fathered a child before, but being a dad was something that I told myself if I was going to do, I would do it the right way. And
well, again, I mean, I brought this up earlier in the video, but no one is ever like 100% ready to have a kid. No one's ever going to fully grasp the idea. You're never always going to be ready. The mother's never always going to be 100% ready, and the father's never going to be 100% ready. It sort of always happens when you least expect it. So you want to do it the right way. You can only do so much to actually prepare for parenthood.
So for me, it was really important that my life was in order. And even though I'm successful on YouTube or whatever it could be, and I'm doing fine financially, I'm doing great, I think there's a lot of things in my personal life that I could have in better order. You know what I mean? I could be in some better shape. I mean, take my health a little bit better, so I'm here for a long time. Mindset things, like I was really getting ready for the prospect of this. A week goes by, and all of a sudden, I start getting messages from her on a regular basis of her feeling unsure. And the whole time,
so indecisive in the relationship. I think she talked about that in her first video briefly.
Being incredibly supportive. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to show evidence of this. But for me, it's very tough because from that point on, and for the next 2.5 months, she flip-flopped between I'm not sure and I'm not going to have the child. Now, I could only be supportive because, as you know, this is a man's world. But when it comes to kids, babies got control, women got control. So Even if I didn't want to have the kid, if she tell me no, then that is what it is. I told her how I felt.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like I said, women should have autonomy over their bodies. I think that the man should get some say in the conversation. I don't think we should have like a pathway where legally a man could stop a woman from getting an abortion or a man could force a woman to have a child. I don't think we should have pathways where men can choose either or. Ultimately, the final say should be on the woman, 100%. But, I do think that, like, the man should at least get some say in the conversation, or at least some input in the conversation, even if the woman ultimately should have the final say on whether or not she chooses to have the child or not.
Why I wanted to go forward with it, she felt differently, and she would waver. And all I could do is be respectful and be supportive, because at the end of the day, like, think about my options from my perspective. She's carrying my kid. If I stress her out, it may result in a miscarriage. If I make her feel alienated, it might push her toward abortion. All I can do right now for the health of the child and for her health as well is to be supportive. That's all I can really do. So that's what I did. And I tried. You know what I mean? I tried. And one time she said dead set on having an abortion, even though I was against it. And I flew down to be with her, not to convince her not to have the abortion, but to be there for her. Let's do it. Because it doesn't make sense to me to have a partner and they're going to go through something as traumatic as an abortion, and I'm not there. Okay? We were committed. So I flew down. And let me see if I can find this in the notes here.
Gotta get that ABBA breathing and tongue ASMR along the way as well. I don't have a mic for ASMR.
Sorry, boys and girls.
And non-binary people, too. Fuck you, ABBA. Come on. I'm just kidding.
So I go down.
Non-binary people are people, but he doesn't, whatever. He's not, like, that invested in it. Whatever. Fine, fair enough.
So, like, let's see here. All right, so some of you be like, why do you have this, ABBA? I'll tell you guys why I have this later, okay? But you guys are going to hear it.
I would not accept that. And I know how you feel about it, and I understand.
So right now what you guys are going to hear, this is a conversation that me and her had months later after most of this happened, okay?
Yeah, continue going on.
And you're gonna...
I knew you to know that, like, you're saying, like, you knew what I was I explained, like, the debilitating decision making, like, I was doing every day. I was going back and forth every day. I was just trying to figure out what to do, and I regret the way I handled it. And I feel like the first few weeks, I was, like, thinking about you first. I feel like I was, like, in a triangle of, like, okay, if I don't have the baby, then things can continue going on with ABBA. But if I have the baby, then it's just, like, all this pressure with someone, you know,
I understand that's what you thought in your head, but, like, I think the frustrating part for me is I literally flew down to be there for you for the abortion. I don't know how things were going to go afterwards, but, like, I would have supported you regardless. But
but it didn't seem like that. It didn't. You kept saying, like, you're never going to be the same.
But that's just true, right? Like, you are not going to be the same either. And that's okay. Like, I wasn't going to lie to you and tell you I was going to come out the other side one way. But I told you I'd be supportive and I'd be there for you, regardless. I didn't go down there to convince you not to do it. I went down there believing you were really going to do it. That's why I went down there. And like, you wanted to talk about it. I didn't even want to talk about it when I came down. You were trying to comfort me. And I said, it's okay.
But you were having a hard time. And I'm not going to argue with you. You don't think that I look at you and I don't care about how you feel. Like, you don't think...
Yeah, I mean, so far, this conversation sounds to me like they're just trying to they're trying to talk it out. Really. That's it. Like, they're talking it out in a normal relationship. Now, why this call was recorded to begin with, whether it's from ABBA or her, I don't know. It sounds to me like... I mean, I guess maybe it's just because he's a content creator and maybe he's just like... He just wants to have the receipt just because people be saying shit about any content creator these days, so maybe ABBA just wanted the receipt. A little bit strange that it was recorded, but I guess, I don't know. I'm not going to harp on that too much.
At the time, I'm, like, seeing you, and I do love you, and I'm, like, looking at you, and I'm like, this guy's devastated. And then a part of me is like, I also don't want to, but I'm like, again, I was, like, in this triangle where, like, okay, if I don't have the baby, things can still move forward, because it's like we can still figure out if we're compatible, we can still figure all that out, and... Yeah, I don't think if the pregnancy happened, I don't think any of this would have happened, but...
The fucking drinking is killing me, ABBA. Jesus Christ. You gotta stop. You gotta not be tipsy for this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think I always told you the outcome I would have preferred. But I told you I would support you regardless, and I'd be there for you. And I think I try to show up both emotionally and physically by being there in person. I think I went out of my way to try to make that clear to you. And also didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you I'm going to be fine, everything's going to be great. I told you, like, it's going to be tough on us. It's going to be tough on you, it's going to be tough on me. I don't know how I'm going to change afterwards. I can only tell you that I'm dreading it. And I think that's a reasonable and, like, mature response to the whole situation. You know, I don't need anyone to coddle me or anything like that. Like, I know these things are going to be difficult. And who knows, maybe it does break us. Who knows? But I would never force you into parenthood before you're ready. And I always told you that.
It's interesting because her original narrative was that, like, Abba was very forceful. Abba was this, that, and the other thing about keeping the baby or whatever. And the language she used was very calculated and very manipulative. And like, he was using abusive language with me. This conversation communicates none of those things. So, I guess bye-bye to that narrative. I mean, I knew she was full of shit anyways, but it's nice to know that, like, we were correct in that assertion or that interpretation.
So what I'm saying there is because she didn't want to have a kid, and I was saying I did, right? I told her, though, like, I'm not going to sit here and convince you to be a parent. I think that's weird. Like, I can't force someone to be a parent. So if I'm having a kid with somebody and I'm the one who wants it and they don't want it, I'm not going to force them into parenthood. So I told her what I felt, and then I stopped. I stopped trying to convince her to keep the kid. She didn't want to keep it. So, you know, I just accepted it and tried to be supportive, but I was in this really weird position. So I'll keep going.
Always. And I understand you may have not felt that way, but I think you don't know from my perspective, like, I really tried to convey to you what I wanted whilst letting you know that I would have your back to the best of my abilities, whatever you choose. And I understand you might have felt differently. I'm just saying what I said and what I tried to do in terms of actions. Okay? Right? Because you didn't want me there for the abortion. Remember? I had to convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to be there for it. And I told you it's my responsibility. It was not to convince you. When I got there at the hotel, I was not trying to talk to you about it. And I know you were trying to say sweet things to me, to tell me, like, we'll have more kids in the future. I was like, you don't have to say this stuff. It doesn't make me feel good, and it's okay. Like, I'm going to be there. We just got a big day tomorrow. Let's just take...
It's interesting because it's like, I want to have more kids with you. I want to do this, that, and the other thing. Like, are people just not good at living in the moment? From my experience, fucking doing, like, future planning in a relationship like that, planning out all these kids, all the dogs you have, where you live and stuff. I've been guilty of that. Like, I'm not saying I'm innocent of it in my previous relationships, I'll say, because after that one time, I never did it past that point, because future planning is just not good in general. It's just, it's very unhealthy because you set all these unrealistic expectations for you that never live up to fruition, and then by the time they don't live up to fruition, you get really hurt by it. So you have to set reasonable expectations. It's okay to live in the present moment in your relationship. I feel like, if anything, that is the healthier route to take in general. Like, so that Abba, not trying to be a dick, that's another red flag that you missed there, buddy. Maybe you saw the potential in this person, so maybe you let it slide, and maybe you were still in love and you were still wanting to work it out, so that's, I guess, fair enough, but again, you kind of stuck your dick in crazy a bit. I don't know.
Get through it. And, like, that's me telling you, I don't like what's happening, but I'm here because I care about you. You understand? So, I think what's tough for me is, like,
So she didn't want me there for the abortion. I flew down anyways. And the night before the abortion, she was talking to me. She was like, we can have more kids in the future. And I'm like, right before you're going to go end this, that's what you want to come for me with? I'm like, just stop.
That's also very weird. I didn't even, like, think of that part specifically. After the abortion, she's talking about, hey, I want to have more kids after the abortion. That's strange. That is a little bit odd.
It's okay. I'm not...
Like, at the very least, you should know the person for way longer than... Like, I could give you a pass if you were, like, married for, like, a couple years, maybe, and, like, you said, hey, we could try to have a kid another time. Like, like, let's just say you guys have a baby, but there's something wrong with the pregnancy, like, any number of things, like, any number of medical things could have gone wrong, and, like, you have to get an abortion because, you know, you don't have any other choice, or else, like, you're gonna suffer a lot of health issues if you don't. You have no choice but to get an abortion. Like, that's just, like, you have to... That's a difficult choice at that point, right? And then you want to have kids after that, like, or at least attempt to have kids after that. That's totally reasonable.
Here to be a sour pout. I'm not pouting. It's okay. Let's just go through with this. I wake up in the morning and she canceled the abortion. So this is like the 9th time already that she's changed her mind between having it or not having it. And I can't stress this to you guys enough, how fucking debilitating and mentally breaking it is to have to deal with somebody changing their mind. Now, I'm sympathetic because I can imagine it's a stressful situation. You're deciding your future, you're hormonal. I'm being as patient as I can be throughout the whole process. I'm not saying nothing because I don't know what it's like to carry a kid. But to be honest with you, it was tough on me, okay? The same was tough on her. I'm not here to villainize her or whatever. All my friends, listen, my friends don't, my friends have nothing nice to say about her, okay? They say she didn't have, we're pregnant, it's lying, whatever. I don't say any of that because I know despite what the fuck she's doing now and all this goofy ass shit, she's not a bad person. At least that's not the experience I had with her. Now, maybe I'm stupid, whatever it is, love struck, whatever you want to say, but I'm just not going to sit here and pretend like she's a demon or whatever. I just think it was a very stressful situation for two people who weren't ready at the time, and I think we just didn't handle it the best. And you guys are seeing it unfold publicly, and I think it's stupid that it's happening this way. But this narrative that I didn't want to have the kid or some baby drama, it's not real. For most of our relationship, it was me trying to tell her not to do it, okay? So, that's what it is. And the reason why I just didn't want to do this vid or talk about this is because it's personal and it's pretty traumatic. To be honest with you, I'm still grieving that whole experience and I haven't been good afterwards. It's a tough thing to deal with, thinking you're going to live life one way and it's very difficult. And I'm probably going to mourn that for a long time, okay? And I don't want to talk about that with you guys, but here we are. And I'm okay with people making rumors about me. I've heard all kinds of rumors, all the craziest things you can imagine. But seeing my ex...
Well, I'm sure Myron Gaines is having a field day with this drama. He's going to use this and, try to paint... no doubtedly, he's going to, interpret this in the least charitable way possible because they're, arch enemies. But I'm not going to react to what Myron Gaines has to say about this drama. I could give less of a fuck about what that weird freak has to say. That dude has never been in a relationship in his fucking life until he got his first girlfriend in his late 30s. That tells you everything you need to know, and he thinks he's qualified to give you relationship advice on the internet when he hasn't had his first relationship until he's in his late 30s. That's fucking insane to me.
To do something like this is to me, it's a bit loserish, to be honest with you. And it is disappointing, but I think I understand. No, I don't get why, but it doesn't matter. Let's keep going with this, okay?
Nah, I feel that. ABBA feels like this coming out online, his sense of manlyhood has been, attacked. I wouldn't doubt that that's how he feels. Because, again, ABBA does strike me as somebody who has some toxic masculine traits. I tend to have some toxic masculine traits as well. It's not really great, because I tend to just, not tell people how I feel nowadays, just because, I feel like being vulnerable... I've always thought that, being vulnerable is, a sign of weakness. I know it's not... ultimately, I know it's not, it actually, in reality, it isn't, and I would only tell somebody, my feelings if I really, really trust them, but even in that situation, I do my best to be, independent when it comes to my emotional regulation nowadays, because I've gotten into bad situations multiple times in my life where I've vented to people extensively about my mental health, and it's not great for them, it's not great for me either, and so I try not to do that anymore, It's not a good habit. Yeah, having emotional regulation... hot take. Emotional regulation... Ooh, fucking seltzer coming right out in the middle of my commentary. Having emotional regulation, underrated trait, guys. Definitely get it if you can. Get it younger if you can, but also if you make mistakes while you're younger, it's not the end of the world. Just do it before it becomes a problem in life, I guess.
So, what happens... during this period? So there's about a 2.5 month period after she told me where she's flip-flopping all the time, scheduling abortions, canceling, and I'm going through hell, okay?
Was this the November and January period, I believe? Because I'm a little bit confused on the timeline.
And if you guys go back and watch some of them lives during that period, you can see it. I even talk about it, and I'm down these bottles like nothing, all right? Because that whole 3-month period, 4-month period, whatever the fuck it was, I don't remember. Time was not real to me. I would wake up and it felt like I was fucking floating, and I was, at the mercy of some bullshit. But I just tried to be quiet, be supportive, and just try to do what I can because I just wanted her health to be okay. Because she was not handling the pregnancy well. She was having mood swings and wilding.
I mean, again, it makes sense if you're pregnant because, your hormones are acting up and they're all over the place. So I get it. It's one of the more difficult times in your life is fucking pregnancy, of course. I totally get it. But the, she's going back and forth between whether she's getting an abortion. At this point, if the relationship is ended and life's not going well, you would have to get an abortion.
The way she was talking to me during that period was crazy.
Yeah, no shit. She's pregnant. Come on now.
And at first I wasn't understanding of that, but I did my own research on what hormones and pregnancies do to a woman, and your boy learned some things.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, definitely.
So,
I guess I shouldn't say no shit. I mean, he's still kind of figuring it out, but still.
My own red lines weren't very difficult, okay? The two things I asked her is I don't want any kind of baby mama business. What does that mean? I ain't just trying to get pregnant and see how things go, okay? So when it comes to having children, ideally we do with intentionality. Now, some of you might say, well, probably shouldn't fuck her raw. I'm gonna hold the L. Like I said, Doc
Yeah, probably not.
told me everything's cool, but it's still my fault. So Abba can hold some L's. You know what? Let me go through all the L's that I wrote down, because I did write these down before I even knew anything this happened, okay?
Alrighty then.
Abba's many L's. Shit. Okay, here we go. I wrote a bunch down, because I think some L's.
This guy is like, this guy's so fucking tipsy.
You know what I mean? Your boy's not against admitting to his faults. Abba chose her. That's a big time L. All right, that's on me. Whatever she's doing right now, at the end of the day, I chose her, so that's on me.
Yeah. You dated her, my guy, and you chose to look past some of the red flags that were in this relationship. It's definitely on you a little bit.
Abba ignored some red
She's definitely more at fault for going at public with this fucking shit, for sure. And, like, also not choosing to terminate the pregnancy when the relationship ended. So she's definitely to blame as well, but you're fucking, like, come on, my guy.
flags. That's a big time L, okay? And
I need to go back.
right now, at the end of the day, I chose her, so that's on me. Abba ignored some red flags. That's a big time L, okay?
Yep, I just said that.
And I will tell you guys why. Before she got pregnant, I think. I tried to break up with her one time. And she roped me back in, but at the end of the day, I allowed myself to get roped back in. So before any of this crazy shit happened, Abba's gonna hold the L because he ignored some big ass red flags that he saw, but he decided to ignore because he said, we're gonna work through it. And I think this is one of those times where I'm like, working through it is not bad. Just don't do it for the wrong person. And Abba needs an
And you did it for the wrong person. That's what happened.
L for that. Abba didn't leave when he felt it was time. That's another L, 3 times total, okay? Another L, Abba got her pregnant. I'm also messaged that one to my doc. My doc lied to me, okay? And the 6th one, and this is the one that I think I'm probably most accountable for, Abba engaged in fights that she started when he should have walked away. Now I'm talking third person because I wrote that in my notes, but...
Well, that depends. Was this like during the relationship or after a relationship? Because if it was after the relationship, like I feel like it's warranted because she was like fucking harassing you on multiple different accounts. But if it was during the relationship, I guess.
That's what I did, okay? There were some arguments that we had that she would... I'm be honest with y'all,
I assume that this is during the relationship and that's what he's talking about.
look through the thread. I could post these if she fucking want to go there. But she would initiate these things, and she'd have a habit of like pushing this button. And I was like, yo, you tripping. And then she would push it, and then I would retaliate, and then she would go, I would never. How could you say that? And I can't tell y'all how much that shit is triggering, but to be involved with somebody you can't walk away from, and they push your fucking buttons, and then you say something, and they act like they never did nothing. I remember I even sent her a message one time, and I started like cataloging at some point what the tactics felt like every time we would have a disagreement. And I'm gonna show it to you guys because this is like from our own threads. I actually sent it to her to be like, I know this is gonna happen. And you know what's crazy? After I would send it to her, I'm like, all right, here's a fight's about to start. I would send her this message being like, this is what I think is gonna happen. One of these 4, let's see which one happens. I swear she would start hitting 1, 2, 3 like it was bingo. Okay, so this is what it was. So here it was. It would go, complain about how you feel without understanding how the other feels. Okay, downplay your part in all of it. Number 3, frame yourself as the wronged party in every discussion. And number 4, pretend to be accountable, but end everything with, yeah, I was wrong, but you were more wrong. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say she was more wrong or I was less wrong, okay? That is always going to be subjective or whatever. But at the end of the day, if 2 people have an argument and both do something wrong, saying you were more wrong for this and you were more, it seems pointless. Like trying to tally up these things, it just feels like everything you say afterwards is bullshit because you're always positioning yourself as the person who's aggrieved and the other one's the aggressor and they need to like really be, apologizing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, again, I guess from Abba's perspective, it's, like, not productive to do that sort of thing. I can understand that. You know, you want, like, instead of actually, like, tallying and keeping track of how many things your partner did wrong or you did wrong, instead just, like, be productive about it. Be like, yeah, okay, how do we move forward from here? You know, like, that makes sense to me.
Every argument we would have would be one of these 4. And it just got so exhausting. And at one point, I just stopped. I literally would not talk because every disagreement that we would have would end up in one of these 4. And I was like, nigga, I'm tired. Now you guys.
Whoa. Abba, don't drop that word on me. Come on.
Here,
I might start saying it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that word. I'm just kidding.
all this, and you're like, Abba, why would you ever stay? Because like I said, you guys are hearing now the negative side. But there's actually a good side to her. She can be very kind. She can be very caring. She can be very thoughtful. In fact, this backpack is a gift she got me, which I'm a big fan of. She got me the AirPods I'm using right now. She would be very... Listen, I'm not going to get to all things, but I'm not here to position her as like some gold digging. Like, she never asked me for money, even though I spent way more in terms of traveling and stuff like that. But there was a lot of good times. I honestly think...
Yeah, but I mean, you're looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. You know, the reality is that it was just not a healthy relationship for either of you, based on what I'm seeing. So, you know, you can sit here and reminisce about all the good times and all the moments that the relationship shined and everything. And that percent of you, that small percent of that relationship, is what wanted you to keep going and fight for that relationship. Been there, done that. But If a relationship's unhealthy, a relationship's unhealthy, my guy.
That if there was no pregnancy, I don't know how things would have gone. Okay, but unfortunately, it did happen, and like a pregnancy just accelerates everything. It changes the whole dynamic. It just does. So, you know, to me, more than anything, all this is just sad. It's unnecessary to me. But let's keep going. All right, I see so many questions, and I'm gonna see. Y'all just give me some time, okay? Shout out to all the new members. I see Sasha Kerr. We got Dizzy. We got Rob Paps.
Whoa, raw paps? Raw back shots?
We got Rafez. We got Apayeb. Abba always with the receipts. To be honest, I'm not even gonna show you guys most of the receipts because like it would need to give you guys entire threads. And at the end of the day, it's regular relationship. Nothing that happened between us is like beyond the pale or so insane. It just...
Which is also confusing because like why did she feel the need to come out with this information if it's just like normal relationship shit? Like, yeah, again, like, I'm sure that she felt bad at times. I'm sure Abba felt bad. But this is not like a career-ending allegation. Like, the fact that she went public with this is really what I have an issue with more than anything else. It's just so unnecessary.
We would have these arguments. Honestly, our arguments in the grand scheme of things are pretty tame compared to most people. So, yeah. Yeah, so let's see here. We got Jesse, shout out to you for being a member. We got Zondi, appreciate you. Oh yeah, I know. Sweet Dreamer of Art. Someone said, Truth Seeker, donate $10. Yo, Ab, I don't care about any of this. I just want to know, are you still friends with Destiny or if you guys ever be friends in the future? I'll be super honest.
Why would you be friends with Destiny? Destiny is such a weird, freaky loser. He's also like one of the most disappointing people ever. Like, Destiny to me is a smart person. And, like, he could be a strong voice that we have on the left or that we need on the left. But he's just such a degenerate, gross piece of shit that I just, like, he's not a good person. He's just, like, one of the most disappointing people ever. Like, I feel like we would be doing so much better on the left if we actually had Destiny as a voice because he's so smart. But he just uses that to be, like, the worst kind of person that he can be.
I'm not friends with Destiny. I don't got to beef with Destiny. I just, you know, at the end of the day, I just don't care for a lot of the things that like he was generally involved in, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he was a disgusting, degenerate fuck. He didn't seem to care about women's boundaries. He would non-consensually share their nudes, and he would also fucking... Like, apparently he was involved in, like, sharing CSAM of a 17-year-old. I still don't know if there's, like, validity to the allegations. I mean, I'm pretty sure, without a doubt, it was confirmed that she was 17. It's just a matter of if Destiny knew the age or not. It's still fucking weird, though. Like, it's just immature as fuck. It's just always a controversy that he's involved in. Like, he's just not a good guy.
And, you know, we just had this conversation. We had the conversation on stream and off stream, which is like he likes his life a certain type of way, and if people don't like it, to get out. So I got out. That was his words. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's reasonable for me to stay in somebody's life and to expect anything or ask anything, so I don't. So, you know, shout out to Destiny. I'm glad that he's, you know, doing what he does. And in terms of politics, we still pretty much align on many things. Probably not Israel-Palestine, but a lot of other stuff. And, yeah, it was the honest truth of it.
Damn. Oh, I guess it's because Destiny is, like, very pro-Israel to the point where... I remember, he said something edgy, like he didn't care about Palestinian people dying or whatever. Very similar to what Asmongold's take on it was, but, yeah.
The whole court case thing and whatever, I haven't followed any of it. Don't really give a shit. Don't care about Pixie. Don't care about any of the people involved that he introduced me to. That's it. Hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny is a weird loser fuck. Again, he's just bad news. Don't involve yourself with Destiny. That's my motto.
Nikisha says she wasn't ready, and that's okay. You also had the right to mourn the baby and what could have been. You know, that stuff is going to get more complicated, so I'll get to that more after, okay? But like I said, this is all like normal breakup stuff. This whole idea of painting one person one way and the other way, like, I'm not, you know, bitch, you better get an abortion. It's not what happened, okay? But anyways, let's keep going with the story, because I'm going to do my best to also try and advocate for her position, because she viewed some situations differently than me. That's normal in any relationship. But, yeah. All right, let's go on. So, fast forward. We are trying to work things out. She's canceled abortion. She's changing her mind every night. And I'm trying to smooth things out, make things comfortable. During this time, it's difficult. But, you know, all I ask her is, like, I will work through anything with you. You can get mad. You can be upset. We will figure it out. The only thing I ask, and this is the one thing I asked her, don't cut me out. Don't say I'm your partner and then decide I'm not involved at all. That's the only thing I ask. You have the final say in regards to that's fine, but just consult with me. Just ask me. That's it. I don't need you to convince me or whatever, but you can't cut me out. You can't arbitrarily. And that's what she did.
Well, yeah, she did. That's like she broke up with you, and at that point, the baby is now her. Like at that moment, she decided to break up with Abba. The moment she decided to cut him out of her life, that's the moment she decided that the baby is now exclusively her problem, basically, because she made that choice ultimately.
She did that repeatedly, and she didn't just do like normal forms. Like one time, so right after we went down for the abortion thing, and she changed her mind. Obviously, this was a seismic shock to me. I'd not expect her to cancel the abortion appointment. So for the next 3 days, I'm processing because I'm like, I don't know where this is going. I'm not human anymore because I'm just flipping back and forth. And our communication dies down a little bit. And from her perspective, what she felt was I was done with her because I wasn't messaging her as often. And from my perspective, what I was experiencing was like, I don't know where the fuck this is going. And I'm floating, okay? That's the best way I can describe it because life is not real. Now, her being upset because communication's a bit down, perfectly valid. She texts me and she says, shit, I think I might have these messages. Let me see if I got these. And if I don't, I'm going to screenshot the fuck out of them. Because she said this should be a text. And I'm like, this is not real life. You know what? It'll take me too long to find them. But if she says this is not true, I'll go find the text message. She texts me and she goes, you're out of the pregnancy. I'm going to handle this by yourself since you haven't messaged me back. You're out. So first off, I'm like, since when do you want to keep this thing? 1, 2, what do you mean you're cutting me out? Like, so I text her very calmly. I'm like, yo, call me. She don't do that. She starts going off, and then I calm her down. We get on a call. We start smoothing things over. But now my anxiety is a bit up because I'm like, this woman is going willy-nilly say I'm not in it anymore, which is a crazy thing to experience. Fast forward some time, and for me, this is like a point where I'm starting to think, like, maybe I don't want to be involved with her in any shape, way, or form. Because not only can she constantly change her mind on me, but she can tell me I'm not part of things whenever she wants it. She thinks that's acceptable. She didn't just also tell me that. She also canceled all of her plans. Canceled her Christmas plans, her New Year's plans. It's all like, yo.
Again, she's like getting very hot and cold with Abba. We already talked about this earlier. This is kind of stuff that we already like knew about, yeah.
Your boy can. From there, she gets very upset with me considering ending things between the two of us. And this is something that she would do throughout when I would think about ending things, okay? And I don't like showing this because to me, this is something that should stay private.
I mean, it should have, but she chose to go public with it, so she's not exactly leaving you with any choice.
She had told me that she was thinking of harming herself, okay?
Great. So that's conveniently stuff that she chose not to reveal in her allegations. That's interesting.
Now, this is not the first time. This is now the second or third time she's done this.
Yeah, self-harm is such a complicated issue because it's like there are times where it can be used to manipulate your partner into doing things that you want them to do. That's disgusting, obviously. But, there are times where you legitimately feel painful in a situation. I'm not happy about it, but I've struggled with self-harm in the past, mainly in, like, high school and early college, like, because when my mental health was, like, a lot worse. I'm not proud of it. It's not stuff that I wish to share online. But I understand, like, feeling so much pain and you don't know how to express that pain, and so you do it just by harming yourself because you don't feel like you can express it in any other meaningful way. Sounds to me like that's the way she was doing it. It's possible she could be using it to try to manipulate Abba into doing things that he wanted her to do. But, like, again, like, if she's pregnant, I can understand, like, there's, again, charitable interpretation. I can understand, like, hormones are acting up left, right, and center, and you don't know how to cope with it, and you don't know any other way of expressing that pain other than the self-harm. But, like, I can understand that, potentially.
Okay. So, you guys can see these messages.
Okay, so this is the blue is Abba. I can't blank. I'm going to sleep. I can't really see what this says because this is cutting it off. Stop doing what you want for once and answer the call. You've texted me everything under the sun. You can give me the courtesy of one call after telling me you want to kill yourself. Or did I mean nothing to you? Unfucking believable. I told you. You are doing it again. You cut me out. I don't know, man. Definitely, like, part of this, like, from what I'm hearing, it kind of could come across like Abba is trying to, like, farm, like, evidence from her, because at this point, this is, like, towards the tail end of their relationship. And so he's, like, maybe trying to, like, farm any bit of, like, receipts that he can get off of her and, like, try to, like, get it. So that could be what that comes across as. I don't know, man. Maybe Abba was worried that she's so crazy that, like, maybe Abba had, like, a fucking spidey sense on him that he thought that she was so crazy that she would come forward with this. and like maybe he was like kind of like pushing that aside a little bit, but deep down he kind of knew that she was that crazy that she would do something like that, so he wanted a receipt. I don't fucking know, dude. Maybe I'm like talking out of my ass here.
I can't explain to people what it's like to be in the scenario where you think your partner is going to kill themselves and they're pregnant, which is like...
Yeah, that's like a double whammy. Got hit with the, yeah, no good, for sure.
But I'm literally frantically texting her, triple texting, quadruple texting, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to stop someone from killing themselves, so I'm not going to apologize, okay? You can read the thread.
I told you, I'm going to kill that's crazy. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. What happened to your Christian values of not getting an abortion? The fuck happened? Dude, I told you, you are doing it again. You cut me out of the pregnancy. You cut me out of the abortion. I'm going to kill the baby. Lol. That's crazy. What an insane thing to say. Okay. Now that the charitability that I said earlier about someone not knowing how to express themselves other than like self-harm, you know, like I can sort of understand that and be charitable. That charitability's gone after reading that message. Like that's you acknowledging that you're gonna kill the baby if you like threaten to kill yourself. Pretty insane. I don't know. You cut me out of the relationship. You're right. That's exactly what I'm doing. And now you're cutting me out of the suicide. It's all fucked up, isn't it? Dude, this girl is crazy.
You see me saying you cut me out of the pregnancy, you're cutting me out of the abortion, you cut me out of the relationship. Like, I'm explaining to my frustration, be like, and she says, I'm going to kill the baby. Okay?
That's a pretty insane. That's insane. That to me is a fucking insane message to send. I can't stay up. My partner wants to kill herself, our baby, and won't call me. And she's thinking I'm not calling the cops. Calling the cops in 5 minutes to your address. It's 146 here. 141, I'm calling. 4 minutes and I call. I'm not home. I'm giving them their and your license plate B. I'm telling them to make your money. I mean, this makes sense. Like, because you're putting Abba in a situation where you're threatening to kill yourself. And so, like, calling the cops is, like, a necessary thing to do at this point to make sure that she doesn't do that. Especially considering that she's pregnant and she has a baby on her.
I called the cops.
Makes sense. Yeah, like, I feel like she's putting you in a tough situation.
I called the cops. I'm not even going to apologize. And maybe...
You shouldn't. Yeah, no, that's definitely the right call.
I don't know if this is crazy. I've never spoken about this portion with anybody. But I called the cops. Not because I wanted her in jail, because I didn't want her to kill herself while no one's around. Mind you, this person lives... Where does she live? She lives a 5-hour flight away from me. So I'm on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast. There's no way I can just go to her door myself. So mind you, I'm trying to be supportive from a distance. So here it is. She says that she's not home, she's doing all this other shit, and I'm stressing the fuck out. I did call the cops. I needed her to see that I'm being fucking serious. Cops are on the way. I'm giving them the license plate and everything. Like, you know, I'm contacting people in her life I've never spoken to. I know about them because she tells me about them. I'm contacting everyone because I need to make sure she's not going to be successfully killing herself. Okay? She took her sleeping pills. She claimed she was sleeping in her car, whatever it was. Okay, so this is something else you're going to learn about me today, which I never thought I'd tell you. But me personally, if I love somebody, like, I will fucking blow through a wall for them, okay? And I don't, if I see my person suffering, I don't know, I see red. It's kind of how I am. So, yeah, I tried. Genuinely, through multiple suicide attempts, I tried to do whatever I can to convince her to not do it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of emotional instability from her, clearly. Like, and she needs to find ways to deal with that. I mean, again, like, even when she's, like, pregnant, like, she probably has all those emotions coming up. Sure, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And, yeah, she would use that shit. I personally, now, looking back, I feel like a bit of it was manipulative because it would often happen when I would try to end things. You know, one time, the first...
Yeah, okay. If it happened every single time that you tried to end the relationship, it's probably not an unreasonable conclusion to say that she probably was actually using it to guilt trip Abba, which is pretty gross if that's true. And that is pretty manipulative. But, like, again, I can understand somebody wanting to, like, I don't know. Like, there's room for possibilities where they could be feeling that way about themselves when they feel pain and they don't know how to express themselves in that way. Like, again, I can extend charitability, even especially when she's pregnant with her hormones acting up. I don't know. As the situation goes on, it's hard to have charity for her. It really does seem like she was really trying to fuck Abba over in a lot of different ways. She was also blackmailing him as well to try to, like, send shit to fucking Myron Gaines.
Time she used her sister, who has an addiction problem.
I don't know if we're there in the timeline yet, though. I don't think we're there in the timeline with ABBA yet, because it's still like way before that. But it's still like this person was like very clearly just like fucking crazy.
I ended things before the pregnancy, I think, and she hit me up talking about her sister relapse, and me like a fucking dummy. You know, I immediately went to being concerned and caring for her rather than...
You know, part of me wants to be charitable to ABBA. I understand why you wanted to have all the unprotected sex with a crazy, because, like, again, crazies, you're probably going to have the best time of your life in bed, but Jesus Christ, there are so many fucking problems with dating or being with a crazy.
Asserting my own boundaries and staying away from her. But I don't know. This is a fault I have, and this is another L for me. So I'll take that. Okay? If I love somebody, I'm trying. And I won't feel bad for that, because if it's for the right person, I don't think that's a bad thing. But obviously, it was not for the right person, so here we are. Okay? And I'll say this too, guys. I'm not sitting here showing you guys like, oh, Abba's such a great person, whatever. No, like during our arguments, I would say things I wasn't the most proud of, and I'll own the fact that I was a big piece of shit during those times, okay? But those were also arguments I never initiated, never really feel like I was deserving, and that she would push. So it's just like, when you're fucking held to the end of a gun and someone pushes you, you're gonna say some shit. Does it make it okay? No. And I'm gonna have to hold that L, but I can also say, I ain't never been through this before. Never had someone who pushed me to this point. My girl here, you hear me? My girl here, she pushed me to that point, all right?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. My charity for her is like just generally low. Like, man, it just really is a shame, man. Like, you can never, like, again, like dating as a content creator just has to be so fucking difficult. Because it's like, you can never have a bad relationship with somebody as a content creator anymore. It always has to be like a bad thing or like a horrible allegation that needs to go to the public if it doesn't go out well. Like, being a content creator has to be so fucking difficult.
This shit tastes so good today. I will say, Koreans, if you're a Korean and you're watching, this has got to be the pride of your fucking country. This is the most delicious alcoholic beverage.
That you should probably lay off, to be honest with you.
And the reason why I can do this, guys, to you, unfiltered, raw, the way she got it.
That was definitely a problem with the relationship, is that you did it raw, and you wound up almost having a baby. And you almost became a daddy with this girl. Like a literal daddy.
As I told you guys like this at the beginning, I gave everything. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed at all. I gave everything, bro. And I don't know, afterwards I was kind of broken up about it. And honestly, I probably did some stupid things after the fact that I shouldn't have done while I was in that period. And I still need to recover. It's going to take me some time to get those pieces back. I'm going to make some more tracks. But I really did give everything. And I'll never be ashamed of that. So that's where I'm at with that right now. I'll keep going with this story. But right now, you know what I need? I need to hear some good stuff.
Alright, I'm gonna skip past this just because there's gonna be like a lot of, it's probably like copyrighted music, and I just don't really like, we don't need to see ABBA dancing for a little while. Like, we could just skip past this.
Guys, got pace
Okay, there you go.
ourselves as we tell this story as best as we can. See if I got some more questions you guys want me to answer, because I will be leaving soon to go out dancing. Someone said that ABG got him. Facts. Was that Asian baby girl? She got me. I'm not gonna lie. She got me. You know, I'm never gonna hate on her for that. She's fine. She's even better looking in person. But yes. All right. Oh. Let's keep going. So, fast forward. We worked through some of these suicide attempts, which I now feel like it's been manipulative, in my personal opinion. And yeah, we get to the next portion. And the next portion is things are smooth. We've worked it out. We made up. We kissed. Okay? There was some lovey-dovey business going on. All right? And fast forward to a month after the fact. Oh, actually, there's some context that does need to be said. During this period where we're having these talks and we're unsure, or she's unsure more. Let me make sure I have that video here. Okay, so you guys are now going to get to see one of my most private notes, okay? I want y'all to pay attention to the date. This is before we were broken up. You can see it at the top over here, all right? Boom. Okay?
Talk with, I assume that's her. And for me, you know, that's what whatever. That's a lot of shit on screen. Whatever. Whatever. I'm too fucking lazy. I'll let Abba read it if he's gonna read it.
Now, if you guys are wondering why it's written like this, it's because it's a voice memo that I recorded that I turned into a note to share with her some of my feelings that I've been feeling, okay? So I'm going to read it out to you guys.
Sure. Okay, that's why I didn't read it out, because I assume Abba's going to read it anyways. Thank God.
It says, and for me, you know, one thing that's important is that any child I do bring into this world, that I'm actively part of their life. That means that I'm seeing them on a regular basis and that I'm very close to their mother, ideally married. That's the best situation for me, and that we are together. That's what I truly, truly want. My biggest fear is that I have the opposite of that, that if I end up, what I want to say there is that if I end up in a situation where distant, I can't spend time with my kid, and there's a separation of sorts, that prospect terrifies me, okay? And the reason I bring that is that the deepest parts of myself, there are some parts of you that are worried or are a bit nervous that you are still very much on the fence, that you aren't very certain, which at this stage isn't even an abnormal thing. And the reason why I'm saying that is like, we aren't deep enough into our dating journey for her to be certain about me, okay? So I can understand, and especially being pregnant hormonal, you know, I'm seeing it from her perspective. I can understand why she might be on the fence about the relationship still, okay? Which at this stage isn't even abnormal. But the potential outcome of us bringing this child and then you realizing this only afterwards terrifies the shit out of me. I want to bring it up to you because I'm not just mentioning this out of the blue. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here.
I mean, like I said, Abba probably wasn't, like, ready to become a dad, and no one can ever really be fully ready to become a dad, but, like, he probably was, like, trying to, like, you know, be like, hey, I want to do it the right way, I want to make sure that this is done the right way. But their relationship was having all kinds of problems while the pregnancy occurred.
I do feel over the time that we've known each other, you've brought up a lot of problems that you have with me, be it the way I run my personal stuff, the way I talk, my judgment, you know, you stuff relating to my past quite a lot. And yes, you've moved past it. So for more big context, she's like mentioned, okay, not trying to vilify her. She would bring up a lot of problems. Some of them I felt were very ridiculous, personally. And some of the stuff she should have known before she got with me. And someone saying like, I have a problem with your past is a weird thing to say, considering like I am who I am publicly. So why would you come out all of a sudden and say that to me? Or like my sense of humor or things like that. Like, it's just like, lady, you're gonna do this now? But she had issues. You're entitled to those. My main issue is you are here now, and here at the 11th hour, you want to bring up stuff that you should have known beforehand. So then why are you doing that? But it's her right. I'm saying essentially, if you have these problems, and we have this kid, and it's irreconcilable, that's an issue for me, okay? But I just want you to understand that the mounting of things that I felt like I've been cutting up that have become sources of issues for us, it makes me wonder if you're simultaneously both loving me and at the same time not sure if I'm the man for you. And as far as I'm being asked to change some aspects of myself and some very core to me, I worry that some of these are irreconcilable differences.
Well, I mean, she keeps going back and forth about the pregnancy, so...
And yeah, my concern is bringing a kid into that situation. It's a bit scary. So I wanted to kind of just share that with you, what I'm thinking, and yeah.
I mean, if she's, like, the problem is that, like, if she's going back and forth on whether or not she's having a kid, then it is worthy to bring up, like, you know, once she has that kid, what else is she going to constantly go back and forth on? Is she even stable enough to even be a mother if she's not stable enough to carry that child through the pregnancy? You get what I'm saying?
I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle having a child with you and then finding that out. There you go. Okay, you guys can see it there on the screen. And I think that's a fair statement. You know, my thing wasn't the fear of being a co-parents. Guys, relationships get together, they break up sometimes. That's okay. That happens. The only thing I told her, the one thing that I didn't want when we would have conversations is I don't want to go into a baby mama situation. I don't want to have a kid with somebody and we're already broken up. That's like...
Well, you almost did, Abba. Like, you really... I gotta be real. You fucking dodged this bullet like you were Neo in the Matrix, dude. Like, it was... Like, this could have ended up so much fucking worse than we got. Like, it's honestly a miracle that it didn't, like, end up that way. Make that 2 miracles, actually.
No, that's the one thing I don't want, okay? I'm fine if we try and we go to therapy and we go to counseling and we do everything. We love each other, so let's try. And then if we break up afterwards, I can live with that. We did what we could. My issue with her is that I started to feel like she didn't want to try, okay? So... she knows this. That's the only thing I asked this entire time. She's never told me that she wanted a kid. All she's told me is that she's unsure or she doesn't want it. She's scheduling an abortion. So this whole time, I've been fighting for the relationship, fighting to keep the kid, okay? And you guys, I have much more examples of this, but I'm not trying to go through everything because your boy's trying to go dancing tonight, okay?
Well, you do spend another hour talking about this because there is like another hour of this stream left, and he's trying to go dancing tonight, but he spent another hour talking about it, I suppose. When does Preach come in? Apparently Preach comes in. He comes in like in about maybe like roughly, wow, in like literally 3 minutes. Wow.
Fast forward, things are going better, okay? I think that I'm enjoying a good relationship, that we've figured things out, we've worked through it. And when you work through things, you feel closer to the person. Like, damn, me and this motherfucker have been fighting through shit, you know what I mean? I'm out dancing one Thursday, the same way I'm gonna be dancing tonight. I get a call from her, can we talk? Immediately at the middle of the dance, I'm like, She's like, you can get home and we'll talk then. But whatever inside of me felt off, okay? I said, no, I'm gonna leave, which I never do. But you know, this is the future mother of my children, the person I'm supposed to maybe marry, I don't know. So I go home, I get on the call. I want to say that I maybe said 5 words and she did most of the talking. And you know what I'm gonna say, guys? There's nothing worse than when someone breaks up with you, okay? And they want to say a bunch of compliments. This is the most fucking exhausting thing. It's like, bitch, get this shit over with. I said it in the voice message, right? The voice note that you guys saw before. I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle you not wanting me after the child is here.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, again, like, you want to be there for your kid best as you can, especially considering she's, like, flip-flopping a lot at this point, so it's a lot of stress for the both of you.
So I said, I can handle you not wanting me. I can't handle having a child with you and then finding that out. Cool. Up until now, she never wanted a kid. She tried to have multiple abortions, okay? Tell me how this lady gets on a call with me.
Well, yeah, well, didn't she say earlier that she, like, canceled 3 different upcoming abortion appointments? Did she cancel more than that? Did she, like, downplay the number of abortion appointments that she had? Because she thought, like, 3 was, like, the least bad in the scenario that she had, but maybe there was more than that?
Says I'm ending the relationship, and I'm keeping the baby. Oh, shit! Hey, what is?
Bro, you gotta... I don't think the soju is helping you out here, Mr. Abba. Bro, he's so fucking goofy, I swear to God. For, like, no reason.
Bugai! Yo,
Bruh.
when I say I was floored, I didn't say a word. I was so blown away. I was like, is this real life? All the, and now, and I literally never saw it coming. She never spoke to me, never gave me a heads up. And I'll prove it to you guys, okay? Don't worry, there's proof. Guys, the call, the way it ended, I'll tell you what she said. And she was giving me a speech. Oh, you were so amazing. You're the best. Blah, 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 blah. And okay, peep this. Peep this.
Another soju sip.
She gets to the end.
Take a shot every time he sips his soju. No, some of you are probably trying to go to school or work in the morning, so fair enough, I guess.
And she says that.
Don't do that.
And my first reaction, I'm still in shock because this is the one outcome I asked her not for. And she blindsided me with it. And I said, okay, just keep me updated. Bye. And you guys might think that reaction is crazy, but having her cut me out already a couple times, for her to do that this way and for the kid thing to be dropped that way was insanity. I can't tell you, this is by far the worst betrayal anyone's ever done to me. And I'll probably process that for a while, to be honest with you. But I was fucked up, not gonna lie. That night, I think I might have played video games for like 2 hours and passed out and just tried to live. The next day I took...
Yeah, well, that's every man's way of coping, it seems. Just fucking play video games and hope that it helps. But as long as you're not playing multiplayer games like Apex Legends, because that game is going to make you even worse, and it's going to make you want to say slurs.
Text her, I'm like, you know what? If you could lie to me this whole time and keep me in the dark about this and then fuck me up with the betrayal that big, I don't want to co-parent with you. I said, listen, if you're going to have it, I prefer if you didn't, because you've been wanting to have this abortion this whole time. I said to her, I prefer if you did it, but if you're going to do it, whatever. Oh, is that Preach? Oh, you
Hey, Preach coming in.
jump in? They thought you hated me.
Bro, he tagged him in the fight. He tagged him in the WWE arena with his ex.
Were you
We're
listening?
tagging preaching. Well, she tagged him in first because she involved him, so I feel like she's kind of asking for it at this point.
The whole time?
Yeah.
How is it?
Good job.
Okay.
Good job. It's just that I was in the show an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah. She said when Preach finds out, he gonna leave y'all. I was like, you stupid as fuck, bitch.
Shit, you stupid as fuck.
All right.
I'm sorry. Let me shut that off, cause
Yeah.
I was in my car. I was driving. I left. I was an hour and a half away from here.
Yeah.
I was on stage at 8. I left at 8:15. It's 9:03.
Yeah, I appreciate
You know how.
I appreciate you.
You know how.
Because you said you want to do this tomorrow, but I'm like, this can't wait. I want to go out dancing
I
tonight.
didn't know that's what you. I didn't understand that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
Until I realized I put the dots together, one and one together, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It is that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You took the whole spot. You moved.
Because I was
you
going to
moved
do
me
some
out.
dancing. I set up the camera. I was going to do some dancing later. We were going to get a little session in. All right.
All right.
So I'll keep going from that. So
You good? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, to be honest, I'm actually good. I told them the same thing I told you.
I know, bro, but I'm just. Yeah.
I know. I appreciate you. A couple of boys hit me up. I said, listen, guys. Let's
I
keep
didn't
going.
hit you. Yeah, no. Just speak your shit.
Yeah.
Talk your shit.
So it was, for me, the worst betrayal, to be honest. And I'll own up to this. It's not a responsible thing to respond the way that I did. But I hope you guys understand the shock that I had in the moment. And with a few months, I might have changed in my mind. To be honest with you, co-parenting with someone like her, I just can't imagine it. She is the way she handled this whole shit was demonic, okay? I'll still defend her in a lot of regards, but I'm glad, one of the most happy parts, guys, the reason why I can smile today is, as fucked up all this drama is, I don't gotta co-parent with her. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be tethered to this person for the rest of my life. I will be eternally grateful for that. I'm sad about other parts. There's some things I'm mourning, but just imagine how crazy all this is, and you guys are gonna do your clicks. I don't mind. Go crazy. I ain't gonna trip. But at the end of the day, I'm okay. What do you want to say?
No, I'm just waiting for the juicy part.
Oh, is there a part that we're not privy to yet?
Okay.
The part where I get to call her a witch.
Oh.
So
He knows something we don't, guys. Oh, shit.
when she hears that I don't want anything to do with her, initially she's like, cool, bye. Fuck you then. I block her ass because I'm like, bitch, you betrayed me, so fuck you, right? I didn't say that literally, but I'm like, be gone out of my life, witch. Tell me how I start getting bombarded by everyone in her circle.
Dude, this is the part that gets me. Again, if you guys have been tuning into this story, I'm sure if you're up to this point, you probably have been tuning into this video. This is the part that fucking gets me. Is if she decides she wants nothing to do with ABBA, why the fuck are her friends or everyone in ABBA's circle talking to him about his relationship because she's telling everybody about it? And why is she fucking messaging him on several different platforms and accounts and phone numbers? You guys aren't even together at this point, and she's trying to fucking contact this guy.
With blackmail threats.
Why do you think?
Well, yeah, the blackmail threats were with sending shit to Myron Gaines, I believe.
We can speculate.
Or going public with certain things that shouldn't have been public as well. That too.
But
So this piece of garbage,
I thought she was nice.
not in this moment, she's a garbage right now. People shift, people go through phases. I was a garbage in my younger years. You know what I mean? Okay.
I am mad at you right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was also garbage in my younger years as well. Everybody goes through a phase one way or another. Not my proudest moment.
So she had sent me a recording that she had done of her call. I didn't know she was recording. So you guys, I need you, maybe normal online is not normal to me. I've never had someone record a call with me. And then she had uploaded it to YouTube in a private account, and she sent me the fact that she recorded her final call. The one where I was really upset about how things unfolded and how I was really done with her and I felt betrayed. I was upset, I was wilded, okay? You can say whatever you want about that call, she can play it. I don't feel bad at all. The betrayal I felt at that time and how she could do that to me after everything I tried, I was like, yo, fuck you. She recorded it, I was blown away. That's why I have the recordings I have now. Because when I realized she was recording and she was trying to build some kind of case, I said, I'm gonna keep my recordings from the future going forward, okay?
Okay, so I guess that explains why ABBA was recording from his POV, right? Okay, that actually explains the previous call that he played where I mentioned that it seemed like I was questioning why he was recording that to begin with. Now I know. That actually explains it perfectly because she was recording shit first and she sounded like she was building up receipts to go public about this and then use it as blackmail to send to either Myron Gaines or to go public with it. So then ABBA was going to start keeping his receipts. That makes that okay. It's clicking now. I get it now.
So she sends me texts. I don't engage. I block her. She sends it from a different number, sending me the link to the video. And
From a different phone number. So she's still contacting him. Keep in mind they are broken up at this point.
do you guys see what it says here? Video 1 of 10.
1 of 10. So there's many videos.
Okay, and I'm gonna just move it to the side. You can see the text, but the text says, I told her release it. You know why I said release it? I don't care. Genuinely, I don't run my life in a way that if it became public, I'm terrified. I told her fucking release it. It's worth having you out of my life.
I mean, in a weird way, I guess it like also explains why Abba is treating us the way that he is, because like now that it's in the public, now he can be free from her forever because he can address this and then put it to bed, and then she can never expose him again because it's already been put to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see if I got more of this shit. Then her friend started messaging me. Look what this goober ass posted. Y'all see this?
The phone number.
I don't care. Fuck them and their fucking phone number. You see this? So she's like, yo, I'm gonna contact the ops. I want y'all to think how crazy that is. I want y'all to think about how crazy that is. Someone you trusted, someone you loved, someone you gave everything to, and they had their friends say they were gonna blackmail you by contacting the ops. Now, from her perspective, what she's gonna say is, I felt abandoned. Bitch, you abandoned me first. You gave me the one outcome I didn't ask, and then you cut me out, and then in a 24-hour span, you were asking me to be supportive of you and to be like, okay, so how are we gonna co-parent? That is a crazy thing to do. Now, she's hormonal, she's losing it. I'm gonna be as charitable as I can be and say, it's probably not easy on her end, but this is insane. Ain't it?
Is it before or after she's contacting me?
This is before. Here's another one here, a different person. And what I said, feel free. She would never, but her friends will. She sent her friends to go after me, okay?
Oh, wait. She has just a good support system.
She has such a good support, yeah.
She never would, but her friends will. And the emojis and the clowns? Nah.
Yeah, okay.
Burned.
Yeah, so she's she knows damn well that at this point she is blackmailing.
Burned the whole town.
Okay, let's keep going. And to give you guys an idea of how rampant this shit was, it was really weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I say I was shocked, I don't say that lightly, okay? And I'm gonna play more recordings after. But I think it's always a good idea. You know what I mean? Just for a little bit of context. These are all the numbers I was having to block because she would not stop. The harassment was crazy, guys.
Bro, what is going on, dude? Holy fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. 4 different numbers.
Would not stop. The harassment was crazy, guys.
4 different fucking numbers. And that's just one screenshot. There's probably like a couple of others that he's going to show us here.
Okay, y'all see that? Put another up on screen.
Bro, 3 screenshot, a second screenshot, 3 more numbers, 7 different numbers. This is not counting the Instagram. This is also not counting the friends that Abba had that she would harass him with. And this is also not counting the fucking, her own friends that she would send after Abba to talk to him. Jesus fucking Christ. Crazy is putting it lightly. Yeah, Preach, if I were you, I would take a drink. Like, I guess, you know what? Drink up, bud. Like, celebrate all you want.
Okay, this is from Abba.
Wow, it's actually crazy. You know, at first I was like, you know, maybe Abba's gotta, like, lay off the drinks a little bit because he's getting tipsy. He's being a little too silly about it. But, like, after, like, seeing... It gets worse with this girl. It gets worse. And now that you're out of it, yeah, drink up. You guys deserve drinks. All the drinks in the fucking world.
Sure, well, we'll get to that later, all right? To that after.
So when she made that video where she said, he blocked me 100 times, that's what she failed to fucking say.
Yeah, I have to block
That's what she failed to say. He blocked me so many times. Yeah, but you contacted on different numbers.
On different accounts, different numbers, and through different people.
Oh,
Harassing the shit out of him. I mean, we already knew she was harassing the shit out of him with her own narrative, by the way. And yet she still found a way to downplay even the worst parts of it. Which is crazy to me. She found a way to downplay her harassment levels, and she still seemed bad even in her downplayed version of it. And we didn't even see, like, the real side of it.
ooh, the witch.
To be fair, I did definitely block her more than she blocked me, but at the same time, I was trying to get away from her multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, genuinely.
The suicide attempts,
It's like whatever, like, any number of times you blocked her doesn't amount to the whatever the fuck she did.
my sister's going through stuff like, yeah, it reeled me back in. What can I say? I'll own my own mistakes because I made them, okay? Caring too much for the wrong person, making too much effort, whatever insecurity in me that drives me to feel like I need to take care of people this way, it's not a good thing, especially when directed at the wrong person. I'll own that every time. I don't sit here, guys, and be like, Abba's perfect or whatever. Nigga, no. All right? Go ahead. For this? Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep needing it. You know what? Why am I acting like I'm not ready to go out dancing?
Yeah, exactly. You got the wet towels, man.
I don't got one towel. I got two. Okay, because we about to salsa. Huh?
Okay, no mi morena, no Filipina.
I'm so glad. Enjoy. There's gonna be no salsa dancing with Filipinas. Okay, I'm joking. I love my Filipinos. And one thing I'm grateful for her, she definitely put me on Filipino people, and I'm a big fan. Okay. So she's doing all this blackmail. I'm not. I ain't tripping, bro. Like, put it out, whatever. Just get out of my fucking life. A month goes by. Now I've had some time. After she's harassed a bunch of people, she even contacted Preach, and I didn't even know until later. She started contacting, her friends were contacting people around me, blackmail threats, whatever it could be. A month and some change goes by, maybe. And now things are setting in. I've had time to process the betrayal, how I felt about it. But I think it's a good time now to play more of the recording. The reason why is that we discussed this around this time. Okay? And I'm going to go pretty early, and you're going to hear quite a lot of the recording. Again, I only started recording after I realized she tried to blackmail me. That's the only time, okay?
Yeah, I don't,
Oh, that was my Discord notification for a second. Holy fuck.
yeah, you're not, and that's okay. Thank you for letting me say all that. But yeah.
So the context right now, the reason why she's like this is that she called me eventually and she apologized. She apologized because she knew she was tripping, and she admitted that she was mostly at fault, okay? During this apology call that she does, okay, a lot else gets said, but this is her after I'd responded to her apology call, okay? I don't know if it was like through text, I don't remember, because a lot of this is hazy. I just remember she had a lengthy apology for everything that she did that was wrong.
I think just to debrief or to recap, I couldn't have you. I don't want you to for us to separate and you not think that this was, really hard on me, and that I didn't love you. Again, I don't think the amount of grief I had gone through this last month.
It just makes no sense. She's flip-flopping. It makes no sense. She's the one that broke up with him. Again, I keep saying that, but, like, that's what she did.
Would have existed, and,
So, like, why are you feeling this way if it was your decision?
Still carry that today. I feel like the pregnancy kind of made me not think correctly, and
I mean, that's probably true to an extent, but, like, at a certain point, you're still responsible enough for some of your actions, right?
do things the right way, and it kind of messed things up weirdly, and I didn't move properly. And the only thing I can say to that is, like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was honestly trying my best, and
Sorry, you guys can hear me clicking in the background. I'm doing the same pose I did when she broke up with me.
yeah, I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay. Like I said earlier, before we started this call, I don't want you to think that I want to do this to have a chance to litigate the past or prove my point. I really want to just let you be able to say what you want to say and kind of get things off your chest. And I appreciate you sharing all these things. And
I mean, like, let's be real. The obvious reason that ABBA is, like, getting her on a call to begin with is just so he can record and get more proof of her, basically, and get more receipts, which he is now playing. So that's, like, obviously the reason why he's playing this to begin with. But, I mean, at this point, like, I'm more on ABBA's side than I am on her side. Like, I'm very much of the opinion that she's fucking crazy, and she absolutely had no reason to go public about this, and you know, her life could have been so much more simple, man. Like, this didn't need to be public. Like, she could have gotten the abortion, or, like, at least dealt with it. Like, you didn't even have to get the abortion immediately. Like, you could have found a way to deal with it offline, and then never go public about this, never keep harassing ABBA and everything, and just making yourself look worse, because she had to have known that if she came out with this, that, like, ABBA could make her, like, look bad, like, easily, because she does look bad here, right? Like, she had to have known.
And, yeah, do you have any questions that you want to ask me? Anything?
No, but I think really the only honest thing that I'm feeling right now is like you're not saying much, and that's just making me feel dumb for like saying everything that I said.
Why?
Pause. My boy, I'm gonna
So
tell
her
you.
apology, she's mad because I didn't reply in the way she needed to. So now she regrets her apology.
My boy,
Keep that.
my boy.
Keep
I'm
going.
gonna tell you something right now, okay? And it might be controversial, but I don't think so. In my lifetime, I've seen many, many, many pregnant women, and I can tell you that much: the pregnancy is not the problem. It's something else.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, like, I get the point that Preach is making, and that's, like, that she obviously has underlying issues. And, like, in that case, sure. But, like, I definitely think the pregnancy is, like, is a factor. It's probably making whatever underlying issue, like, even worse.
1, 2.
Unless he's about to say that, and I paused it too early.
So her body changed while you saw her being pregnant, right?
What are you trying to say? She wasn't pregnant?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what do you see? What certainty do you have
I
except her
believe she was
word?
pregnant.
What certainty except her word do you have that she was actually pregnant?
Are you sure? Is, like, Preach making, like, up some, like, conspiracy that, like, she wasn't pregnant all along?
Okay, so you think she wasn't pregnant?
That's not. I'm asking. I have.
I'm certain. I'm not going to say what, but I'm certain.
You do?
Yeah, I'm certain.
Perfect. We don't need to go any deeper.
I'm going to defend her when I feel it's fair. She was pregnant.
First, fair, cool. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm glad Preach didn't, like, double down on that, because that would have been, like, a weird angle to take at this situation. I'm not going to lie.
So I told you, all my friends, all of them were like, this bitch lying. She wasn't pregnant. Also, keep in mind,
No,
keep in mind, she never once asked me for money, ever. Like, it's not a gold digger situation or whatever.
Bigger situation. It's a crazy situation.
Maybe. I'm just saying
Well, yeah, crazy situation, sure. But, like, again, like, the pregnancy was definitely amplifying that level of craziness.
people run with that narrative like it just didn't happen. So I just want to say that. Let's go ahead. Man, why am I defending her? Yo, she could go there and... Go ahead. What do you want to say?
No, it's
Okay, bro.
just that all that I've seen people being wrong, and I've seen people being very, very, very highly hormonal in their pregnancies. That, my friend, is something else.
Sure.
Wait, is she pregnant now?
No, let's keep going to the story, bro.
It doesn't make me feel dumb. It just makes me feel like a little. Obviously, it was fine for me to say that, and thank you for holding space for me to even explain all that. I promise you, that was my reality, and that was all true. But I did kind of like pour my heart out, and
I just feel like if I start doing the same, we're gonna probably start arguing because you're gonna like disagree with how I view things or the way I view them, and I didn't want to invalidate whatever it is that you're feeling or do any of that. So I think that's why I'm just not.
okay.
That's why
I
I'm
see what
not.
you're saying.
I'm not.
That's it right there. I stopped engaging. Because every time I would disagree, it was always like, you're more wrong. My feeling. So I was like, you know what? Cool. I just stopped talking. And that's what you're seeing right there, okay? I'm going to move the recording along. I'm going to now explain to her why I pulled away. And you guys are going to hear her reaction, okay?
I didn't see any of that coming.
Man, that is fucking insane.
You know, well, I also spent time thinking about it. I mean, as far as the end goes, you know, obviously I didn't see any of that coming, and I kind of just didn't say anything at the time because obviously I was very caught off guard, and on top of that, it was like an outcome I never could have ever imagined. So, you know, with the shock and everything, all I wanted was to just kind of get away. And I understand that from your perspective, you might have felt like you needed me, but honestly, it felt like you like ran a truck through my head.
Oh, did Preach accidentally play another video?
And I didn't want to say anything because I had no control or any say in it. So it was just like, I just couldn't be supportive. I couldn't be there for you because I was just, I don't know.
No, I knew I did that to you.
Yeah, and I'll just say, like, you know, I don't know, my response wasn't great, but, you know, it felt like I got ran over, and then I was like...
Again, everything that we've heard from ABBA, by the way, everything in all the audio recordings that have been shown, not a single fucking time has the narrative of him being, like, calculated, manipulative, abusive, the things that she alleged in her first video, not a single time has ABBA reflected any of that behavior that we have seen. Have you guys noticed that? Yeah, it's almost like she's not being 100% honest when it comes to this situation.
as
Now, I will say, I don't think she's lied too much in this situation. She definitely has, like, exaggerated certain details of the story, 100%. Like, she is, like, morally loaded it a couple times. But she's never, like, majorly lied in this situation from what I've seen. You know, you guys could feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But, like, it just seems like she has a way of, I guess, like, morally loading things when it's not appropriate to.
be supportive and present by like the person who ran me over. And when I just kept wanting to like get away, like I was just bombarded. And so then I just started attacking. And
By bombarded, I mean I was harassed by all her friends and threatened with blackmail.
no,
Yep.
proud of that response, but I don't know what I could have done in that moment when I tried to get away, you know, like, and you know, I'm really not someone who spends time being cruel to the people around them or stuff like that. I'm generally very calm, but I definitely felt like, yeah, I don't know. I think I felt like there was not much space for me throughout quite a lot of it, and
All right, you're gonna hear me a little bit emotional. You know what I mean? Members only access. Turn this portion off. You want to see them tears? Yeah.
We didn't know it was that until you said it. To be honest, maybe you had.
All right, Abba, whatever you do, don't performatively cry. That shit fucking pisses me off. Every time streamers or every time YouTubers, when they like respond to stuff or they talk about stuff and they performatively cry, that shit fucking like makes me roll my eyes. Don't do that shit, please.
Sniffles.
I think I just
I don't think Abba will. I don't think he's that fucking gay, but still.
Hear it.
I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ. Shouldn't use that as a pejorative.
It's gonna be pretty clear.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the relationship as a whole,
Yeah, I knew that
it's okay. I know you know, but actually,
and I'm sorry that I kept like trying to reach out. I'm not saying this is right. I was so desperate to figure out like, well, I knew that at that point we were just like at war and we were just fighting. But like I just was so desperate to figure out what to do with the pregnancy and me wanting to keep it, and then I had broken up with you because I wanted to keep it, but then that was like a dumb thing that I did. Again, I froze, and that ended up the way that ended up. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you, like, it was like, I don't know what the heck. My like cognitive ability was just like so impaired by all this pressure, and yeah, and then again, that's why I reached out to Preach, and I was just so desperate to figure it out and do the right thing, and it was like soul crushing. Like this whole thing didn't like just hit like my heart, like it crushed my spirit, like everything did. Like from the moment, you know, even like me having that phone call with you, and me like not realize, like, and everything happened so quick, and even like a few weeks after, I knew it was my fault, but like I was like, I knew you were going through like your process of like shock in the beginning, but it was the week I had the abortion, and Kimberly had came back to help me.
So this is them talking like after the abortion.
I think this was 2 weeks after.
Did they? Because again, that kind of like confuses me about the timeline a little bit, because I could have sworn that they mentioned that this was like before the abortion. So I was very confused about that part. Again, for some fucking like this, for a nothing burger situation, there is a lot of moving parts to this situation, like a lot more than I was prepared for.
After talking to you, after our last talk. And yeah, it was 2 weeks after. I was still trying to figure out if I wanted the baby. I had gone through like a weird shock. Also,
Well, yeah, we know. Yeah, you went back and forth about whether or not you wanted the abortion. Yes, that's not like anything new.
Was so shocked. Our first reaction was to run to Fresh and Fit. Anyone else, any op? Like, to be honest with you guys, that's like to me so.
So she wound up running to Fresh and Fit because she said probably the last time we heard about something like that with Myron Gaines, she said probably. So it turns out after a certain point she did run to Fresh and Fit and actually did send this to them probably. I mean, regardless, either way, they heard about these allegations and it got to them, and like obviously Myron Gaines is gonna like snark after Abba. It is what it is, like because they're arch enemies.
I've never had a problem with someone so severe that I'm like, I'm gonna blackmail you, or I'm gonna contact your biggest enemy and tell them a secret I think is gonna destroy you. Like that's so goddamn corny.
Even her,
And to someone you love, like, you know, you guys hear me here. I don't talk about her like she's the devil. She definitely did some fucked up shit, but I still very much there's some love in me for because we went through something difficult. Genuine. I'm still mourning the abortion, everything that happened with it. It's a tough thing for me. Be honest with you, I haven't. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. And that's
I mean, it is like heartbreaking, and I mean, I can't say that I understand how Abba's feeling because I've never had a baby, and then I've never had like a partner get an abortion, so I've never had to go through that personally. But I can imagine, like, you think that you're about to have a kid, and you're like, part of you's excited, part of you's nervous to have a kid, but you are excited, and then to realize that that's not happening anymore. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's the same thing as, you know, losing, like, it's the same level of grief as losing your job, or it's the same level of grief as going through like an actual breakup with a partner or wherever. It's the same thing. Or mourning the loss of somebody in your life. You know, it's some level of grief that's going on.
my own experience. But there's just certain things that she did, and she just doesn't recognize the gravity of it or what kind of betrayal it is. Go ahead.
I mean, maybe she's too crazy to recognize it. I don't know.
Just in the way that you contacted me.
Oh, yeah, dude, the fucking on the Abba and Preach account, that was so nasty. It's just like, now you involved Preach in this when Preach just wants to be left alone in Ethiopia, fucking shaking some ass in Ethiopia.
You were off. Off. Why contact me? I felt like she wanted to use me. That's what it felt like.
I mean, that's obviously what it was. She was like triangulating people around Abba. I hate to be too fucking woke and use buzzwords, but she literally was triangulating people in Abba's circle and then in her own circle to try to fucking contact Abba to blackmail, basically. It was fucking crazy.
It was weird. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do here, but it's hella weird.
Yep.
The making the rounds to contact the others. It's not you contacted one person, bitch. You made the rounds to contact everybody. Some dumb people fell in the trap. Fresh.
Well, yeah, of course. Again, they're gonna interpret the information in the least charitable way against Abba, because anything that like is snarky after Abba, any opportunity they're gonna take to shit on him, they're gonna do it, and then they're gonna laugh. Meanwhile, Myron Gaines has never had his first girlfriend until he was in his late 30s, so I really don't care to hear what his take is. He's a fucking weird red pill loser freak that's never actually gonna be satisfied with a woman. He's gonna die alone in his life. That's the kind of person that Myron Gaines is. He's a very emotional human being. Which is ironic, because you're not supposed to be emotional if you're red-pilled.
Stevie, you contacted everybody. That is not, I didn't know what to do. I think one of the last things that you told me in that text that you sent me was, I think I know how I'm going to proceed. That's what you chose to do?
Peep it though. Someone said, yo, Abba, stay away from these snow bunnies. She a rice bunny. It's different, okay? I promise. Fully rice made, all the way from the Philippines. Highly approved. Give everyone a shout out.
Nah, man. You don't have no bad words for her. She's a witch.
You know what it is, bro?
Full blown.
I made peace with it. Even this whole thing, like the reason why I'm like this, the feelings I feel is more so in regards to the pregnancy and everything involved with that. That's tough on me, to be honest with you. That's the part that gets to me. But her, like, I've moved on. Truly, like, actually in my heart. And I hope she finds happiness. She's got issues and she got to go figure that out. And I hope she gets better. But I don't feel any type of way. The reason why I don't have any...
Honestly, I feel like Abba's being too nice to this girl. Like, this girl has made his life a living fucking hell with her hot and cold attitude and then fucking trying to triangulate everybody in her life and his life to go after him. Like, I would be reacting to this very different. I would be way more harsh to this girl. Abba, if anything, I think Abba's being like way too fucking courteous of her.
Words of anger for her, to be honest with you, is because I'm over it.
And you know what the thing is? I'm sorry.
Maybe he's the bigger man than I am. I don't know. Maybe Abba's got bigger balls than I do. I mean, he's black, so he's probably got bigger balls than I do. I'm just kidding.
One thing, I'm sorry.
We love our black folks. Of course we do.
Because I do know some witches. And that's not what you are.
Yeah.
Why ain't you saying the real thing, Preach? Come on, say it with your chest. Be a man. Say bitch. It's okay, Preach. I'm not going to cancel you for it. No one's going to cancel you for saying bitch. Like, everybody's, like, you're preaching to the choir. Everybody's already on your side in this situation. You could say bitch. You'll survive.
Because all the witches that I got in my life, they're actually pretty good.
Bro, we're not talking about, like, the fucking huts you can find in the swamp of Minecraft, all right? Like, you could say bitch. Come on.
You a succubus. You suck the life out of people.
Well, she certainly sucked the life out of Abba while he was having a good time, I'll say that. More than just the life out of him.
What you do?
She was sucking out all the fucking sperm out of him. And that's why Abba is not producing as much sperm as he could be. because she was sucking all of it out of him.
Fire.
She was blue balling him.
I used to call it that.
Cousins.
Yeah.
That's what you do. That's what it is. And then you pull this. You're looking so dead on the video, your face not moving. Oh no, you a succubus. You look dead outside and inside, my girl.
Yeah.
You a succubus. I have no love for you. None.
Guys,
None.
Guys, I know people are like, oh, man, I'm so sorry, whatever. Truly, if you'd have done this live like 3 months ago, I'd have been fucked up. Right now, I'm actually in a really good spot. Yeah, I mean, life is pretty good. You know, your boy's slimming down, exercising every day, doing his thing, going to see people, see friends, family.
We're not friends.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not friends.
Just came back from my brother's wedding.
But she's a succubus.
So, like, this is not fresh for me, okay?
No, it's,
It's fit for you.
it's not fresh.
All right.
It's stupid, which is technically the same thing.
And we got some good music out of it. And we're going to get some more. Don't worry, we got some other tracks coming down the pipe, all right? So,
I mean, if you play any more music, I'm skipping past it. There's like nothing I could say in regards to the dancing, and it's also probably copyrighted, so I really don't want to risk it.
separating and going through this is going to release. Think about it. I made that music video. Wait, which one am I talking about right now?
Oh god, if you're gonna play it, I have to skip it.
Because I heard the Fresh and Fit Boys are here.
Listen up, yeah, do the thing because they're going to go. They're going live at midnight, so they need to gather some things.
I mean, I made this after me and her ended. Do you understand how much he was amused in her absence?
That is interesting because I remember we did watch this with the Red Pill Avengers. We reacted to ABBA and Preach's video on the Red Pill Avengers, like Clavicular, Myron, Andrew Tate, all those people. Nick Fuentes was there, that like big meetup they had. We saw this song in here, and to know that this is the context for that is actually kind of weird in hindsight. I'm gonna skip past it though. I'm gonna skip past this just because like there's nothing we could say into it. Nope. They're dancing now. Yeah.
Sorry, but she won, right?
All right, there you go. All right, that's enough. We skipped past all the music shit.
And again, I never wanted this to be public. I think it's all very, unnecessary. But she want to go there, we have to go there just to clear some of the air. And again, there's more, but I hopefully don't have to go through it.
Someone said Preach looks miniature. I am. I'm 5'2".
I'm not entirely sure.
Damn, Preach. I'm taller than you. I'm fucking 5'11". I'm a big dude. Although I'm a twig, so Preach could probably do a wrestling move on me, and that would be like, it would be instant. If me and Preach were in a fight, Preach could do one wrestling. All it would take is one wrestling move, and Preach would win. Like, I'm a fucking twig in real life. There's no way I'm fighting Preach. There's no way I'm fighting anybody, really. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter, guys. I'm just a twig in real life.
What it is that I was feeling, but I couldn't even be angry enough to say anything. I just accepted it.
Oh, you hear me tearing up a little bit, boys.
And then everything that followed afterwards was like
The blackmail.
I thought I was going to just get kicked in every direction. I couldn't talk about it to anybody. Not because I was afraid or reputation.
All right, so you guys can kind of hear it. To spend the whole time there.
I'd rather hear you cry for this than losing the monetization of us trying to.
Oh yeah, save it.
I'd rather
I don't mind.
saving kids was good, but
Listen, it's real.
saving you guys was better.
It's real. It's a difficult thing to experience. So for me, I don't mind. I'm not ashamed of that at all.
No.
All right, move on.
I regret that. I regret the way I handled it. I knew to know that, like, you're saying, like, you knew what I was I explained, like, the debilitating.
Hey, Debilitate. It's the Slay the Spire 2 card. It's a good card in Slay the Spire 2. If you're playing Necrobinder, would recommend. That is not a joke, neither. Nobody's going to understand that joke that's watching this video. Or get that reference. But Debilitate is a good card. It's one of the best cards in the game. If you played. Alright, enough.
Decision making, like I was doing every day. I was going back and forth every day. I was just trying to figure out what to do, and I regret the way I handled it. And I feel like the first few weeks I was like thinking about you first. I feel like I was like in a triangle of like, okay, if I don't have the baby, then things can continue going on with ABBA, but if I have the baby, then it.
I don't get it either. What is she saying? If she got the abortion, things could happen with ABBA, but ABBA wanted to have the baby. So, like, wouldn't it make sense to keep going with him when you have the baby? That's, like, the only appropriate time you would want to keep the child, I think.
It's just, like, all this pressure with someone, I
I understand that's what you thought in your head, but like, I think the frustrating part for me is I literally flew
I
down.
think Abba's just saying that because he realizes, like, you know, he's not trying to escalate, but he's like, I understand this part. Like, come on, Abba. You know damn well, even in the heat of, even in that moment while you were on that call, that what she said made absolutely no fucking sense. You know that. Come on.
To be there for you for the abortion. I don't know how things were going to go afterwards, but like I would have supported you regardless. But
Don't think that I look at you and I don't care about how you feel. Like, you don't think at the time I'm like seeing you and I do love you and I'm like looking at you and I'm like, this guy's devastated. And then a part of me is like, I also don't want to, but I'm like, again, I was like in this triangle where like, okay, if I don't have the baby, things can still move forward because it's like we can still figure out if we're compatible. We can still figure all that out. And yeah, I don't think if the pregnancy happened, I don't think any of this would have happened. But sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think I always told you the outcome I would have preferred. But I told you I would support you regardless, and I'd be there for you. And I think I try to show up both emotionally and physically by being there in person. I think I went out of my way to try to make that clear to you. And I also didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you, I'm going to be fine, everything's going to be great. I told you, like, it's going to be tough on us. It's going to be tough on you, it's going to be tough on me. I don't know how I'm going to change afterwards. I can only tell you that I'm dreading it. And I think that's a reasonable and, like, mature response to the whole situation. You know, I don't need anyone to coddle me or anything like that. Like, I know these things are going to be difficult. And who knows, maybe it does break us. Who knows? But I would never force you into parenthood before you're ready. And I always told you that.
She did want it.
Always. And I understand you may have not felt that way, but I think you don't know from my perspective, like, I really tried to convey to you what I wanted whilst letting you know that I would have your back to the best of my abilities, whatever you choose. And I understand you might have felt differently. I'm just saying what I said and what I tried to do in terms of actions. Okay? Right? Because you didn't want me there for the abortion. Remember? I had to convince you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to be there for it. And I told you it's my responsibility. It was not to convince you. When I got there at the hotel, I was not trying to talk to you about it. And I know you were trying to say sweet things to me to tell me, like, we'll have more kids in the future. I was like, you don't have to say this stuff. It doesn't make me
I
feel.
just want to say that's such a weird.
Yeah, it is. Like, again, like, that also weirds me out. It's like, hey, I want to have more kids with you after I get the abortion. That part's even, like, stranger. And it's also, even if she wasn't saying it, even if she was, like, saying, hey, we'll have this kid and more kids in the future, it's like your future fucking planning. Like, you don't want to future plan too much in your fucking relationship. Like, that's unhealthy as fuck. Because you set all these unrealistic expectations for yourself. So, Abba, part of this is going to be an L for you for not noticing that red flag. I mean, he was just too charitable for a baby mama that she liked.
Thing to hear from somebody when they're telling you they want to have an abortion. They're like, oh, by the way, I'm going to give you more kids after we get rid of this one. It is such a bizarre thing. And I know she was just in her own way trying to confirm me, but I'm not going to lie. When she said that shit pissed me the fuck off, but I didn't say nothing.
Good, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's a moment where you would use it. Yo, shut the fuck.
Yeah.
When you say, oh yeah, you say it to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. We just got a big day tomorrow. Let's just get through it. And, like, that's me telling you I don't like what's happening, but I'm here because I care about you. You understand? So, I think what's tough for me is, like, I think throughout this whole process, I know, like, you were, and I think I was learning over time. You know, I didn't know at the beginning, but, like, you know, after our first large issue post-pregnancy, like, I think I started to understand the mental and, like, toll it was taking on you, you know? And I was constantly just basically biting my tongue whenever there was something that was happening, because I imagined in my head, like, this is mostly due to the pregnancy, and, like, it'll be okay.
So that's why I'm saying I'm smoothing over all the problems that she was starting, because in my head I'm like, most of this is due to the hormones and the pregnancy, not actually our issues, which wasn't entirely accurate, but I was trying to be.
I mean, like, it's definitely, like, again, I'm sure, like, they played some level of a role in the situation, but, like, even if she wasn't pregnant, this girl was, like, fucking insane beyond that, because, like, she still acted crazy even when she got the abortion, and, like, afterwards with all the blackmail and everything and all the other shit afterwards. Like, this woman, she's bad news. The fact that you got involved with her, Abba, like, it leads me to believe you were definitely thinking with your penis a little bit too hard.
Diplomatic.
Ha, get it? Thinking with your penis a little too hard there?
But it was like, you know one thing I don't do? And, like, maybe this is just for different reasons, and I don't think you're, like, malintentioned, but, like, I don't try to convince you that I loved you. You know, I know I loved you. And whether you believe it or not, like, it won't even matter at all to me. But I'll be honest with you. Like, when we sat on a call and you're like, you might break up with me because you don't know if you'll be attracted to me. Like, when you were saying all this kind of stuff, like, I was just eating it on the chin. But like,
That's a fucking weird thing to say. It's like, hey, you're in a relationship with someone and you don't feel attracted to them or you don't feel in love with them. Like, that's a terrible thing to hear from a partner. And at that point, like, if you really do feel that way in a relationship, at that point, like, yeah, cutting them off is the right thing to do, cutting the relationship off. And, like, if she felt like that was the right decision to make at the time, that would have been fine. But, like, the reason it keeps coming up and the reason we keep talking about it is because she tried to make the baby his problem when they're not even dating. And she hasn't even chosen to get the abortion yet at this point. Like, again, if you choose to break up with someone while you're still pregnant, that baby is no longer their problem at that point. Like, you've decided that it's not their problem anymore by choosing to break up with them. You're stuck with your baby.
so many things throughout the whole thing that made me question how you felt about me. You know, I felt like you were quite critical, but I felt like you constantly tried to pull me back in and try to reassure me and that you were here to stay.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And then, like,
I haven't seen the rest of the Godfather movies. I only saw the first one. Maybe I should see the other ones. I hear they're not as good as the first one, though.
you know, there were like 2 or 3 times where I was like, it's okay. Like, I don't feel like you want me, and I accept it. Like, this is even like early too, and like you would always try to tell me, and I'm like, okay.
I don't
And
think
and then
I don't know if I felt that early. And the conversations I had with you,
So there was a lot of conversations like that where she would like raise a lot of these issues. I'm like, lady, if this is over, it's okay. Let's just let it end. But why do you keep roping me back in? Like, why do you raise a million issues? Say you're not.
Yeah, it's a lot of, it's push and pull. It's obnoxious. It's very like at that point you just gotta clock out. My thing is, like, if you find yourself pushing and pulling in a relationship, just end the relationship. You're not sure about it, just end it. Like, clearly, because if it is a relationship that is supposed to work out or that you do want, you would know, like, immediately. If you're not sure about it, the answer is no. That's the way I see it. I don't know. Maybe, you know, wisdom and life circumstances have taught me that, I guess. Who knows?
Sure. And then when I try to leave,
I've been in a similar situation before, so maybe I'm projecting a little bit, but I don't know.
you're like, I'm going to kill myself. Or my sister's like, that's what pissed me off more than anything. Because I was already ready to go at earlier points, but she's the one who really convinced me to invest myself more. And for her to like quit at the 11th hour was just like, it was a last straw for me. So I'm not going to play more. I'm pretty sure there's more of her admitting how wrong she was, but like, it's fine. At the end of the day, what matters is that it ended. She wanted us to reconcile and wanted us to work things out numerous times. And, you know, I was trying to meet her halfway. I was trying to be supportive of her because we went through something difficult.
Halfway.
And this is the last point I'm going to make, okay?
The last one.
This is the final point. 'Cause you guys remember early,
The final frontier.
Take notes.
I said there was 3
Okay, Captain Kirk.
things she said. She never quits, well, we established she's a quitter.
Yeah.
She would keep the child if she was pregnant. Well, you guys see from the messages and everything involved, she wanted to abort it multiple times, and I was the one who didn't want that.
And she.
I'm confused on like what she even wants to do with the baby at this point. She wound up aborting it eventually, but like she was so fucking back and forth on it that like I don't even fully know what she wanted with the baby.
Won't cut you off.
Seems like the baby, like I wouldn't doubt that like maybe the baby was like fucking leverage to keep Abba roped into the relationship or something. Like this woman is just that crazy. I honestly wouldn't doubt that maybe that's what it is more than anything.
Off.
And the third thing is that she's not a cheater or someone who courts the attention of other men. Why am I bringing this up?
My bad.
After we separated, you know, we had this period like here during this call we were talking.
Right.
And after that point, you know, I tried to be emotionally supportive of her. I'm like, you know, go to therapy, whatever. We weren't seeing each other physically. She wanted to. She made like a lot of efforts for us to go get back together. After supposedly I did all these bad things, she wanted us to physically be in the same space. And I kept being hesitant about it. I would be like, yes, but you know, my spirit is telling me something's off about this.
Mom, let me know.
And eventually,
Well, turns out your instinct is more than right. It seems like you weren't listening to your instincts, Abba, for a while. Like you were putting your instincts aside for a long time for this woman. Sometimes your gut may be more spot on than you think.
I came to the answer that no,
Again, wisdom will teach you that, I suppose.
I don't want that. And I'll show you guys just an idea. And we ended things on good terms, in my opinion.
Apparently not, bro.
I know. But look at this
Apparently
message,
not.
okay? Because you guys are going to see, like, I send a message that says, hey, I know you haven't pressured me at all. I appreciate your concern. I thought about seeing you many times, thought about us together, but in the end, I can't bring myself to do it. Know how much I love you. I lost myself in our relationship, and I realized I have a hard time being myself with you. I don't want to go back there. I know you don't want me there. Still, I want to support you from afar. I wrote that last song wrong. She definitely wanted me there, but it doesn't matter. I will always support you from afar. I learned so much from our relationship, and I know how good your heart is, okay? I talk about her the exact same way. Here she is. Happy birthday in advance. I'll be thinking about you on the day. She sent me this
Jesus Christ, this woman is so fucking. She's like writing poems and paragraphs for him. Like you wrote like a brief message for her. Like it's obviously complicated at this point, but it's like she's like writing fucking like actual like slam poetry for Mr. ABBA here.
Months in advance before my birthday.
Bro, I already had to deal with enough slam poetry in high school English class. Like I don't need it in like fucking internet allegations. Come on now.
I'm sorry for coming off inconsiderate or insulting or insensitive on the call. You're right, I was. My heart's been debilitating heavy. It was selfish of me, but it's not fair for me to ask you anything. It was selfish of me, and I'm sorry for being insensitive in so many ways. I'm glad you haven't been feeling what I've been feeling. I'm praying, blah, blah, blah. She mentions how difficult this whole process is for her. But aside from the romance, it is the person I met and the ABBA I met, and the person, in the end, the human in you who I am grieving. I don't just let go of people easy. My heart easy. I'm sorry for absolutely everything from the bottom of my heart. I'll be thinking about you and your happiness, and that's not going away anytime soon. It's hurt a lot because I know it was alignment and not the love. Thank you for everything. I know you gave me everything. I'm sorry for everything. I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. I love you. Don't have to text me anymore. I said, hey, I saw your message. I thought of everything. Appreciate you. And I said, I'll be rooting for you from afar. Okay. Now, good message, right? While we were talking during this period and she was really trying to set up meetings, which I think she tried to set up like 2 or 3, and I kept saying no every time, and I canceled on all 3. She told me something that was very interesting. You guys remember how she presented herself as first? Christian woman, very demure, very chill.
You said demure.
You see her Instagram, like, very chill.
Demure.
So, like, this is the person, she would never court the attention of other men. If another man approaches her, blah, 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 all this other stuff. She was, like, overcompensating. And she was
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, ABBA talked about this earlier. I do remember this.
very territorial and jealous. And to give you guys some context, if you guys go to my Instagram, I follow like 43 people, okay? Most of them dancers or artists or my family members.
But not me.
Not him. Yeah.
Not Reach. Damn, he's just not that cool, I guess. He's cool enough to be on your show, not cool enough to follow you on Instagram. Sad stuff, man. Sad stuff.
You're not
ABBA, where's your fucking loyalty at?
an artist, a family member, or so.
Or a friend.
Preach is fucking family to you. The fuck you talking about? He's been on this channel with you forever.
So
You know how
the reason why I
fucking
contextualize it is really important, this part, okay? Because you're gonna start saying my reaction. Why? Go
ahead.
When you believe someone, you believe them for who they present themselves. This girl, one time she got mad at me because I was following this like random dancing lady who does like a lot of tutorials and stuff in regards to
Bro, that shit irritates the fuck out of me. It's like, oh my god, you follow this person on Instagram. You follow this person. You follow that person or whatever. Like, oh my god, you're cheating on me because you're following that. Like, okay. Like, you irritate the fuck out of me. Like, a follower does not necessarily mean you endorse that person. It's like, this is like the fucking dumb purity test logic that like a lot of far left spaces use. It's just, it irritates the shit out of me. Like, enough.
I like this stuff. I like watching people. I'm someone who practices dance technically.
You like bachata?
No, but her footsteps, she did Dominican bachata.
Yeah, never mind.
She did Dominican.
No, Dominican bachata
Yo,
is
so
the
the
shit.
footwork was fire.
I'm a Haitian man giving props to the Dominican for the bachata. I gotta give him.
Peep it.
Yeah.
Peep it.
Yeah.
I like watching. I don't post comments. I don't like posts. I'm not somebody who's on Instagram Thursdays. To me, that's retarded. I just don't do it.
Whoa!
She
Bad word, Abba. It's a bad word. You know better not than to say that word.
gone through my.
I would never say that word on a video that people can find on the internet. Never once. There's not a video of me using that word ever. There's not an audio recording of me saying that word ever. Just saying.
follow list and had an issue because I was following like 1 or 2 dancers and I appreciated the fact that they were very gifted, but these actually very talented dancers. Okay. So she raises the issue to me and she's like, I just don't think it's a good look. I just don't think it's appropriate, blah, 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 blah. And me, I'm like, I've never had someone bring this up.
It's just like, it's so annoying when people are like, oh, you follow this person. And like in a relationship, if you have to control who your partner follows, like, I mean, I guess it depends. Cause like if it's an ex-partner, then I guess I kind of get it. But like, if it's like just a random fucking person, that's just, it's so annoying. Like, fuck off with that dumb bullshit.
To me in my past, but I was like, I'm not arguing with you. You know, you're pregnant, whatever. This is the problem. I just unfollowed them. Didn't care. Didn't argue. Why am I laughing? The whole time this lady had a Facebook, Instagram, but she was like following hundreds of dudes. Okay. Again, I just don't care. I mean, the hypocrisy pissed me off and it annoyed me. But I actually wasn't threatened. Okay. So there's this.
Because none of the dudes rollerbladed.
True. If they did, I don't know. There's a problem. All right, Rico, we can't let him get in.
You can always slide in, roll through, and then
Peep it. So this lady tells me while we were still talking and she was trying to reconcile things and get back together, even though I felt off, she was telling me she loved me, she wanted to be with me, she really felt like things would work with me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I'm not going to say like she was one-sided, but part of me was just, I was always reluctant. And that's why you can see the text at the end where I'm like, I don't think we can do this. She tells me that she has a product she's doing and it's getting popular. She like has this Instagram where she's showcasing her skills or whatever. I don't know what kind of stuff you posted on there. And this is where she lies. She's like, oh, it's mostly like archery stuff. It's not like the thirst trap kind. I was like, cool.
It's not.
So tell me, after we stopped talking,
Tell me why.
I see this shit come across my feed.
But
What?
no, go ahead.
No, these posts that she was making were during the time that she was trying to get us back and she said we were supposed to make it work.
All right.
Peep it. Let me see here.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why.
All right, here it is. Okay.
Well, the only heartbreak that Abba would feel at this point is like the kid. At this point, he's not really missing out on this lady anymore.
Now look at this.
That's not her second account. She doesn't have
That account.
This is like her fucking like 15th account.
Mind you, this account she never showed me. I'd ask her, she would never show it. She refused.
Wait, she never showed. Wait, this is another account and that she never showed. Dude, what the fuck, bro? How did you not see this as a red flag? I'm sorry, Abba. An account that she refused to show you?
Like, why are you hiding this account? She's like, I just don't feel.
That's a red flag. I don't know. Like, if she's showing off gym fits and she's showing off like herself on like an account that you can't see or that she doesn't want to show, that's like. That is instant red flag. Like that's crazy.
But she's like, I'm trying things.
So she's trying to show off to other guys on top of that. So she lied. So she actually lied about that. Wow. I guess that's like the first big lie that we've heard from this story.
You don't feel comfortable showing some shit to someone
I know why she didn't show me.
You don't feel comfortable showing some shit to someone that you see naked? It's crazy.
Yes. And to someone who you say is your partner is supposed to be,
Right.
Peep it. And this is why all this is happening. Okay? When I saw this, I was really, because it really made me look at her differently. Okay? So here's the Instagram, and you can see these posts for yourself. She got her in some tight dresses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's showing off a little bit of her assets, we'll say. Yeah, she's definitely I mean, she wants to look good for the gram, which is fine, but why do you want to hide that from Abba? That's a little bit insane.
You know what I mean? She wanted to do her gym progress stuff. What was crazy is that she was replying to every dude.
Replying to every fucking dude. Not so secret. I love how it says not so secret account, and then she says shh. Wow, that's interesting. It's almost like she knows.
Okay?
You don't entertain what?
Okay? I don't mind. She said these are not thirst traps, okay? But mind you, there's just some her
I don't know about that. That's a bit of a... Yeah, it seems like a thirst trap.
a hot dress.
Miguel.
And she's replying to every dude on the planet.
Miguel.
You see it, right? I'm not tripping. You guys see that?
Miguel.
Peep it. And she said to me, this is, when I found out, I was like, why did you lie to me the whole time? Like, that was really off.
Yeah, that's like the first big lie that I've noticed. Like, just keep in mind, like, apart from like exaggerating certain parts of the narrative or like attaching a lot of like loaded language to it, like intentionally, unintentionally, whatever, it's ambiguous. Probably intentional because she's crazy, based on what I'm hearing. Like, apart from that, we've never actually seen like a big lie told from her until now, and we're like almost done with this.
And she denied it. She was losing her mind, getting angry at me. You want to know how fraudulent this broad is? I'll tell you what she did. When I found out, I texted her about it. Not because I actually care about this kind of stuff generally. It's just that she presented herself.
Well, I mean, it's just because she like lied about, like, she said that I would never give attention to another guy while I'm dating somebody, which is obvious bullshit because she was giving attention to other guys while they were dating, which is pretty fucked up that she would lie about that.
Something. And she was doing the opposite and hiding and pretending. So when I texted her about it, you know what I did before I texted her? I screen recorded, okay? When I told her about it and then she got on a call later, you know what this girl did? She archived some of the posts. She archived. And when I questioned her about it, she never answered. She would dodge the question. You did this to me, you did. But I'm like, why did you archive the post if you felt like you did nothing shameful? You'll see. I wish I clicked on some of the other pictures. I probably did another video. If you guys look here, I wish I would have done. You can see this one right here, right in the middle, right there, where she got the tight dress on and she makes sure her ass is nice and showing.
It's not an ass, it's boobies.
Boobies for sure, but she turned. She does a lot of that stuff. Look, I've never managed my partner's Instagram in my whole
I mean, like I said, she wanted people to see herself, we'll say.
life.
She wanted the men to be as hard as they could.
Mostly because if this would have been her Instagram off the top, I would not have dated her, personally. I don't go to change people. She hid this shit. Who hides an Instagram like this while they're trying to court somebody or try to be, no.
I'm gonna tell you that much. If my girl would have posted shit like that, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Fair.
But I would have a problem with you lying about it. If you post shit like that,
That's what I'm
that
saying.
ain't got nothing to do with do you, boo boo.
That's what I'm saying.
And guys are replying, I don't care. I don't care. Generally don't care. Cause why? Because at the end of the night, you coming back home with me. You could talk. You could. I know it's business or whatever, whatnot. You just. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. But if you lying about it, it's kind of weird. It's kind of sus.
But my thing is, she presented herself one way. She took issue with who I followed, which was super PG. And then she was doing that, and she was hiding it, and she was archiving posts, and she was like, she's the one who can't be doing that.
Succubus!
That's what I'm saying.
I tell you,
know what I mean?
burn them!
You know what I mean?
Burn them.
So to me, it's like the hypocrisy in the life. And so when she did that, I'm like, oh, so you was doing the shady shit. You was doing the shit. It's like, all right, bye, girl. And then she got mad. She lost it. She was sending me novels or whatever. And this is the reason why she's here today. So at the end of the day, I wish her the best of luck. She can go do this with somebody else, whatever. She can pretend she did nothing wrong because she always does that. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it was a semi-messy relationship, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And the fact that it's public, I would never want. But she chose this life.
You made it public. That's your fault.
She made it public.
Yeah, all of this could have stayed private. And, like, it really, like, again, like, it sucks how she felt about the relationship. She seems like the shittier one in the relationship, obviously. But it's, like, very dumb move to come out with all of this because now ABBA has, like, way more receipts against you, and now you're just going to look worse. And now you're going to open yourself up to tons of harassment online. It's, like, a very dumb move from her part to come forward with this as, like, a last resort. She really thought that this was going to be a good idea to, like, make a dent in ABBA's career or something.
It's your fault. None of this could have went that way, but you went to Watts, you went to Stevie, you went to Ed, the Fresh and Fit, you went to many more, and it's okay.
Fresh and Fit as well. That's also fucking insane. Like, that is, like, extra vindictive. She has to know that, like, Myron and, like, ABBA have, like, a fucking, like, nemesis rivalry or something, or, like, they're, like, arch nemesis people. She has to have known that.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay, my girl. The whole problem of this shit.
Take another sip of that soju.
It's not that you got pregnant and you want it or not, or want it or not, or want it or not, or want it or not to keep it.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. The issue is that you're a crazy bitch.
That's it.
That's what the problem is.
And like, just imagine how much of a loser you are right now, because you're over here posting all this shit online, and like, all the red pillars are gonna look at you like you're a Jezebel. And if that's what you want to do, then go crazy, girl.
You're giving fuel to all the people.
I'm happy.
You're giving.
Because you and I not co-parented. We not involved. I got nothing to do with you. Your boy free.
You're giving fuel to all the people that think you are the norm, my girl.
It.
By the end of the day, you're really it's just one crazy out of many.
That's it.
But you're just one crazy girl out of many normal girls, right? The problem was not the hormones, because the baby's not there no more, right? You still decide to do this shit now.
Yeah.
So that's not that.
Yeah, I guess when you put it like that, yeah, she's still pretty crazy.
And nothing to do with the hormones. You crazy.
Yep.
Succubus.
I mean, I still think that, like, the pregnancy probably amplified her craziness because of all the hormone changes you get, but, like, she was probably crazy even before that.
That's it.
Which, sure, yeah, that's fair.
You go through friends, families, and foes. You are crazy. You're a crazy one.
That's it.
Hey, I heard you really dodged one. Oh.
He dodged it like Neo dodges bullets in the Matrix.
Ooh, if you took her home, it'd be a mess, son. Tell me how you do.
So, everyone like, oh, Abba, how you like? I'm not stressing. I know you guys are terminally online like, oh, you must be. I don't give a fuck. I live my life in a way where I try to put my best foot forward. I make mistakes. I fuck up. I do. And I'll always own that. And I said throughout this whole call, there's plenty of things I should have done earlier on, which I didn't do. And I'll own it. But all this narrative that she's building, it's all just bullshit. This girl is being shady. She was being shady. I still don't think she's a horrible person, but I think she got a lot of shit to work through. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, she had a lot of shit
to work through.
Oh, 100%.
That's it. But at the end of the day, guys, like, this is the best ending. Like, y'all don't realize, I'm free, nigga. I made it out of Shawshank. I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm all of them. I'm out.
Cause you're free.
So y'all can say whatever y'all want, but just think, I might have been tethered to that crazy bitch for my whole life.
Guys, do you think ABBA would be like a good like actor to play as God and Bruce Almighty instead of Morgan Freeman? You think ABBA would be able to pull it off? I think he could do it. He's got the hair, he's got the beard and everything. Just like put him in like a white robe and everything. I could see it. We got to see ABBA in a white robe with this haircut and this facial hair. Let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it a reality.
So I'll go to my therapy. I'll do whatever I gotta do, but your boy happy. That's why I can show up to his life every day. Because just looking at her behavior right now, I texted her today. I was like, you doing this is making me so grateful that we're here right now. Because the opposite end is, bitch, I might have been with you. Yep. I get to have a chance to be happy.
What did she reply?
She tried to pretend like she wasn't bothered. She was like, all right, well, I'll do my other video. I'm like, do whatever you got.
Do your videos. You look stupid.
I'm not stressing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to react to her part 2. That's going to be in a separate video because this video is already like super long. I don't think it's necessary to react to her part 2 in this video. So we're going to do that in a separate video. I'll definitely react to it. And if I were ABBA, I wouldn't respond to her a second time. Like I said, because at that point, he'd just be like preaching to the choir. There's no point. Like, he already said his piece. He already showed a good amount of receipts here, and she already made herself look bad, so I don't think ABBA responding would be necessary. He could just live his life, be free, and there's plenty of fish out in the sea.
Genuinely.
Okay.
I got the recordings. I recorded it. As soon as I realized this girl was recording, I said, oh my God, I'm actually going to record a call with someone. I've never done that. And I said, shit, we going to start.
That's that Michael Jackson shit.
That's it.
You want to get started.
That's it.
You want to get
But like
started.
this whole idea, like Abba don't want kids. Like guys, I could tell you, I'm not necessarily someone who has like baby fever or desperately wants kids. If a situation arises, I'm gonna take responsibility regardless. Whether it's paying child support, whether it's co-parenting, whatever. I didn't want to co-parent with her specifically, to be honest, because one, she crazy as fuck. But secondly, it was because she lived so fucking far. If she was in my city, I would have figured something out. But she lives very far away. I'm not gonna fly 9 hours to see my kid like twice a year. Like that's not reasonable to me. I don't want to have this, and she knew that going into it. That's what really fucked with me. So that's all it was. But this is not a big thing that should ever be online, in my personal opinion. But she put it out there because in her head, she's convinced she's the right party. That she's delusional. She really thinks that, and it's just like that conversation I showed you guys earlier. She'll be like, I was wrong, but Abba was much more wrong. That's all of her, and she's doing it again right now. I can say, yo, say it's 50-50. I don't give a fuck. Say whoever, Abba's more, I don't mind. But it's a regular relationship bullshit. That's all it is.
I guess this life is going to be public for a while. This life is going to be,
I'll leave it public. I don't mind.
leave it public.
Raw and uncut, no editing, nothing.
like you did her.
That's what I've been saying this whole hit. And I'm not gonna lie. The sex was fire. The dates were fire.
Of course,
I'm not.
I mean, yeah, it's a crazy woman. The sex with all crazies is good. Like that's generally how it goes. Is the sex is good, but like everything else is problematic.
I'm not gonna look back right now and pretend everything was bad.
Of course, crazy pussy is great. Fuck out of here.
God, ABG. You know what that is? Asian baby girl. I've never actually been in a relationship with an Asian girl before, but yeah, it was a bad. No Filipinos.
I shouldn't even smoke here. Well, sorry, my bad. Asian baby girl. My cigar.
All right, let's look at some of the questions. Some people had questions.
No, people went crazy with the questions. With the thank you very much for everybody that did the donos.
So the members get their questions answered first because the members are the most important. But I'll get the rest of you guys later.
Get the members. Golden member. That's my penis. I'm sorry.
How do you feel about her reaching out to content creators to try to paint a narrative? That really rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, I'm not surprised, bro.
It's loser. It's loser thing. What happened?
No.
You good?
No, I'm not. It's just disappointing. You care about somebody, you try to go things with a good foot forward, and to find out they're doing all this other stuff, it's like you're hurt and you're gonna regret it later.
I mean, it's always disappointing, you know, like heartbreak is inherently disappointing, just in general. In fact, if anything, if you describe it as disappointing, that's like putting it lightly.
You're gonna realize how stupid you look. But it's just, and you're not ready to actually accept any of the parts. Like that was a big problem in our relationship, is that she just wouldn't accept her portions of it. So that's how I feel about that. What else we got here?
We have a $50 Canadian.
Wait, hold on. Let me look through these. Sorry to Ab, I went through something serious, some situation that was similar in a relationship. For what it's worth, fate of the unleashed. Appreciate you, boss. Abba, you are accept the fact that she was never pregnant or the baby wasn't yours. Listen, I know that's a common thing, and everyone thinks people are getting baby trapped. Sometimes people make irresponsible decisions. I just got to own my part. No matter what my doctor told me, no matter what, that's on me.
I mean,
that's on me.
No,
That's on me.
No, it is.
Okay, so you just got to eat that.
Because
So,
your
I know
doctor told
people
you you
get
had
sick.
low sperm count. That doesn't mean that you can't
He
conceive.
told me like that. But
Well, the low sperm count is because this fucking girl sucked all of it out of Abba. Surely. That's why it was.
that's on me. So you just got to own that part. I know the narrative is always they never had the baby and it's very convenient. Sometimes they did, and it's very complicated. Sometimes this shit just messy. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll find out later after the fact, but I'm not gonna paint her in the most like Jezebel lying light. So
Someone wrote, la demoiselle va pas bien. Here, logo, la demoiselle va pas bien.
some of you are showing me love with the donations. I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna read those out, okay? But if people show me love, I see you. All right. Someone said go dance some salsa. I will. A lot of you clearly don't read or listen. She made the choice and now is trying to make her name for herself. I can only imagine the trauma that she would have caused had she kept it. She definitely likes to play the victim. Listen, I don't know, because I know she's keeping the Instagram. Even though she told me she was going to delete it because she said it's just a stupid experiment that she didn't want to keep. She's kept the Instagram since, right? And maybe this is her trying to launch her career. I know she quit her job recently to go traveling, so it's very convenient that all this is happening at the same time. I'll say for myself, I hope she's happy. I hope she goes find her happy. I hope she heals whatever. I don't care. She's out of my life, so I don't have this vendetta where I'm wishing. I'm just like, go away. That's what I think when I hear about her. Let's see here. You can't donate 99 cents and get a red shirt. That's crazy. Someone said, it must have been very difficult with the back and forth, and though it is important to hear someone else's story, the fact that she went to other creators to talk about the situation is fuck. Yeah. I don't know. But to me, it's just so corny. I just couldn't imagine somebody doing something to me, and I'm like, let me go sabotage this and that. Like, I just don't get it. If I'm done with somebody, I'm moving on with my life. That's how you can tell that she has a vengeful nature. Her, it's important for her to get revenge. And she'll yap to me about being Christian all the time and how she's
Well,
going
yeah, I mean, that's very apparent given that she went public with these allegations.
in a Bible study.
Oh, yeah, that was a
and I'm like,
Christian way, right?
where's the forgiveness? Where's all that?
Who would have guessed that, like, a majority of people that are, like, Christians or, like, believe in some form of Christianity are fucking assholes? Ain't no hate bigger than Christian love, am I right?
You don't have it. You actually are vengeful.
And that's not a dig at every single person who's religious. Like, there are good religious people out there for sure, but I've always fucking hated organized religion. I've seen a lot of bad parts of religion.
You have some
People have used it to justify really gross things.
evil in you. So it's like, go ahead, girl. If you think this is the right choice,
She a
But it's
Christian,
gonna
she a Christian girl?
Oh.
Hold on. You need Jesus. And a lot of it.
yep,
Go to church, bitch.
that's it. But like, yeah, I'll talk about the rest of it. What was the purpose of her making this public, contacting other creators? You might not like to hear this, but unless you were there in person, the clinic, the hospital, abortion results, then there's nothing actually confirmed. I wish I would. Well, I appreciate you for that comment. Velour Duck.
Lord, the
She
big
contacted FNF like those two media illiterate queens were going to expose something.
You call them queens.
A lot of you are weird. No one cares about Myron. I'll take, or his take on this, just need him to run up the Abba and preach back. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to watch Myron's take on it because he's an unserious person. Like, he's going to die alone. I don't care what Myron thinks.
Get paid, niggas.
Hey, come on, man. I'm going to get into the habit of saying that word if you keep saying it, my guy. Don't say it.
I'm sorry you
I'm
have
just kidding. I would never say that word.
to go through this in relationships. There's so many
Especially not on Apex Legends or during my CSGO days when I was in high school. I would never use that word, ever. Never done that in my life.
difficult
I don't know
situations
what you guys are talking about.
and it's painful. You didn't get the results you wanted, but I think you got the result that you needed. Guys, I'm not, you know when I said I'm not ashamed? Like, that's what I said before. When you guys try, all you can do afterwards is be like, I gave it everything.
Oh shit, the lead attorney is here. What's up?
He said, you're free, W with 100. Shout out to Lead. Lead, I hope you are recovering. I know you're going through something in relation to
Yeah.
cancer, and I do hope you are doing better. You know, I think every year I'm going to get cancer. I ain't going to lie to you.
I fucking hope it's not Legal Mindset that's attached to these guys because Legal Mindset is like an actual fucking weirdo. Hopefully these guys are not on good terms with Legal Mindset.
You what?
Every time I heard that guy's story, I had to turn it off because I was like, in my head, you know me, I've always said I felt like I was going to die young. So when I see these dudes around my age or content creators getting cancer and stuff like that, it's like a reminder every year to go get my butt checked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me, it's not, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah. Godzilla, God King. You know what's crazy? Myron gonna talk trash about this, but this is a baby situation. Mine couldn't even get Angie to smash. He's stupid. I should pre-read this.
No, that was a good one. No, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm sorry. Congratulations.
Someone said, read the comments in Stevie Knight's chat on his video. They're all roasting her. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother, man. Listen, maybe I'm simping. Maybe this is the wrong thing. I don't wish anything bad on her. Like, I genuinely loved and cared for this person. I grew attached to the family members and everything involved with her. So I hope they don't have to deal with this. Because like this social media bullshit that they all gonna hear about that's embarrassing for her is gonna like it's stupid. I don't want that for them because they got their problems. And she's told me a lot about it. So like, honestly, there's a lot more I could say. There's a lot more that's like vindicated, but I'm not because I don't want the people around her. They don't deserve that. So I hope she stops being stupid about this.
I'm just gonna address something.
It's not worth it, ultimately. It's just like dumb shit that should have stayed offline, ultimately. That's really what this whole thing boils down to. Is just like relationship issues should have stayed offline, but she went public about it first, and now she's making hell for herself because she decided to go public for it. Apparently she made part 2 to it. I guess we'll look at part 2 at some point in a separate video, of course. Definitely not tonight because this video is already like super long.
Right.
Abba, you a simp, Abba. Abba, you been simping.
Sure.
You know what?
I'm gay too.
He is a big simp.
No, that's me.
They say
He was gay for Filipino women.
I'm gay, niggas.
Swear, yes. But, I mean,
Bro, come on.
that shirt. Anyways,
You're gonna make me play Apex Legends and take all my rage out, guys. Enough. Stop it.
oh, you're a simp. You know what? I'd rather be called a simp because I try to do the best that I could to be a good person than being a bad person and realize I was bad. Sneeko, yes.
Well, there's a good kind of simp and there's a bad kind of simp. There's the kind of simps that fucking donate all their money to Twitch streamers thinking that they will forever be married to that person. And then there's the good kind of simps where you simp for someone you know is a lover of you.
Sneeko's catching strays as well. I don't care. Yeah. So you could call him a simp. Oh, you
I forgot Sneeko existed. Little cuck boy that thinks that you can marry 12-year-olds as long as they look sexy.
want. And maybe he fits the definition. Maybe a lot of things that he did was simpish. And I'll attest to that. That was crazy. There's a lot of things that you forgot yourself out of that. You were not yourself anymore, right? But at the end of the day, for what? Because you were trying to do the good thing. And if I got to be a simp to try to do the good thing and try to do the better thing in order to have the well-being of a person, and then realize that person is batshit crazy, then I'd rather be that and just be a jackass. I don't know. That's me. And if you call me gay for that or being a simp for that, I'd rather be that. I'd definitely rather be that. But once I
We all got a little bit of gay in us.
cash on at you, suck your ass, and then you put this shit online, we could go on. We could go about it.
All right.
You need to lift your dance thing?
Might need it soon. Yeah, I might
Because
need
dance
it.
is gay.
Dancing is gay. I'm gonna go do some gay shit with girls.
Yes, gay.
I think I pretty much covered most of the stuff. I don't think I have much else to say. Let's see.
There's not really much else you can say. I think we've gotten pretty much the gist of it, and I don't think anything else you'll say will change my take on it.
Is there anything else at the bottom here? Let me just refresh this shit, and then if there's nothing, we're gonna end this stuff. I didn't think it would take this long. I ain't gonna front you.
You never think it's gonna take this long, but this shit, a shit like that, the way you was talking and looking down, I was like, oh. At first, I left the place where I was at, and I was like, ooh, I'm not gonna make it. The way you was talking,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have plenty of time.
All right, guys. That's it for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. If you did, cool. But that's all there is to it. So, peace.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations that you are now free from your relationship. And just like that, the live is over. Yeah, Abba, be careful who you stick your dick into, because watch out for crazies. You know, if you're hooking up with them, that's one thing. Don't make a crazy your baby mama, because you will be attached to that woman forever, unless you have two miracles like this situation.